6. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, McGraw.
So I heard someone in the office is possessed by an owl.
Someone in the office is possessed by an owl?
Who?
Thanks for playing.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
I love it.
That was like the big boy coming around the bend. You saw that one.
Did you see the big boy?
Did not see the big boy.
The big boy was...
Did not. I missed the big boy. I would have liked to have seen the big boy.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So, you know this crash they found, this Pan Am crash?
Yes.
That they found off the coast of Puerto Rico?
Since the 1950s.
Yeah, it was the 1950s. It was a plane that was taken off from San Juan, Puerto Rico, was headed to New York, and shortly after takeoff, the plane lost a couple of its engines. The pilot tried to return back to Puerto Rico, but couldn't, and landed in the ocean, and it sunk, and then 50 some odd years, 70 some odd years later.
Some people survived that.
Well,
crash
so
too.
here's the story. So they were looking for it, oddly enough, and they had some sonar and radar and whatever else they had, and they found it at the bottom of the ocean, some of the deepest parts of the ocean, and it still had the Pan Am logo on the plane. I mean, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah. So here was the story that they landed in the water. They had an emergency landing in the water, and everyone survived. Every single person survived it. What happened was, once the plane landed, the crew, only 16 or 14, 15 passengers survived, and 5 crew members survived. Everybody else went down. Apparently what happened was nobody got off the plane. They didn't use their seats as a flotation device. They left. There's reports that the pilots were trying to throw people off of the plane.
People would refuse to leave the plane?
In a panic, yes.
Are they underwater? Or they
were on, and then at one point the back tail broke off and then ultimately sunk. And only 15, 16 passengers survived, and the crew survived. And because of that tragedy, that's now why we have, when you sit down in a plane, here are your exits. Use your seat as a flotation device.
And listen to the crew.
Listen to the crew. Put your mask on first, and then when you sit in the exit row, you have to answer, are you okay? Are you okay? Can you help us? And so all of that never existed before this plane crash.
So everybody survived the crash, but then they all perished in the plane because they didn't know to get out?
They were either panicked or they were so in shock that the plane was floating on top that they stayed in their
I'll just stay in my
seatbelt, or panicked or didn't know what to do, or I can only imagine the grief and the panic and the horror after the plane lands in the ocean.
Oh,
yeah.
So you said there were actual survivors.
There were like 15 survived.
The whole thing?
Everyone survived the initial emergency landing.
69 people,
but only 16 survived, and the crew. So 20 people survived.
Wow.
Yeah, they tracked down an 80-year-old woman living in New York whose father died. She was 5 years old at the time. They tracked her down and asked her about it.
Wow. So this happened when did this happen?
In the 1950s.
1952.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But they found the plane, the bottom of the ocean.
In two parts.
And they found that it had the Pan Am markings on it.
Man, what kind of paint was used to wrap that bad?
Yeah. And then, of course, now they think this might help them find that Malaysian airline. Remember that one that went down without a trace? I don't know, 10, 12 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Right? That's it, right.
The bottom
of 12 years ago.
The ocean is like vast.
And
right? I mean, the concept of trying to...
They used the, I don't know, if it's an MRI, the same technology to see the baby in your stomach.
Uh-huh.
They use this, and the pictures that are sent back. I mean, you can clearly tell it's a plane.
It says Pan Am on it.
Yeah, well, but I mean, the outline of the plane, it's clearly a plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Crazy. Just a crazy story.
But now every time you're on a plane, you're like, oh, they're going to do that thing.
Yes.
But they didn't do it before.
That's why. Yeah. I was talking to an aviation expert. He said every regulation in the airlines is written in blood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because something happened, somebody died, and now they built in a new regulation so that doesn't happen again. Crazy stuff. All right. Karen Travers is going to join us. ABC News White House correspondent. Stephen Portnoy going to be joining us. The House adopted the $95 billion package to help fund the Iranian war. What does it look like in the Senate? Stephen Portnoy's got that story for us. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. Somebody in the Jeffrey Epstein orbit passed away. And, of course, the conspiracy theories are alive and well. Brad Garrett's going to check in with us, talk about that. Jim Ryan's got a story about OpenAI going rogue. You know, nothing good is coming out of OpenAI.
It was supposed to not even be able to get on the internet, and it found a way to get on the internet.
How? What was Space Odyssey 2001? How?
Unlock the bay doors, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Crazy stuff. Antonio French going to join us. Frank Cusimano is going to check in. And then she wants to be a full-termed St. Louis County prosecuting attorney. Melissa Price Smith is going to be joining us in the 9 o'clock hour. Is she going to be on the phone or?
She's in person.
She's in person. Well, we must rate. That's why I never do anything illegal, because the prosecuting attorney coming to visit your work, you certainly don't want to give her any reason to linger around.
Well, I'm here.
Hey, I'd like to talk to you a moment outside.
Yeah.
Try these cuffs on.
Something landed on my desk.
Do you have your phone on you?
About you parking in those illegal parking spaces.
Yes. Here's this little thing called
you were not getting curbside.
Here's can I check out your locker?
Sir, we understand you've been parking in new mothers' handicap spots.
All right, that's all we got going on this morning. Holy mackerel! Let's check traffic and weather. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. We have more road work on 5570 east between Illinois 111 and Fairmount. And tonight, one eastbound and westbound lane of 70 will be closed from Forestville to Wentzville from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking afternoon highs towards the lower 80s today, partly sunny skies, lower humidity. Get outdoors because come Friday, we're going to be tracking some scattered showers and storms lasting throughout the day into the overnight hours before looking to push out into the second half of Saturday morning. Temperatures also look to rise into Saturday afternoon, 88 degrees. By Sunday on, we're looking at the potential to see some dangerous heat looking to return. Feels like temperatures back towards the triple digits. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Walter Knoll Florist. You just found out that they're getting married, and you're so excited. And now you have to start planning for the wedding. First place, first stop, Walter Knoll Florist. They have a whole wedding department. Sit down and talk to the experts. Everyone's got a budget. And so Walter Knoll will keep it within that budget. No matter what that budget is, they'll make sure that it is beautiful, perfect, and just right for the wedding of your century. Walter Knoll Florist, WKF.com, 1-800-341-ROSE, or walk in and sit down and start talking with the wedding consultants. They've been doing this a long time. They know exactly what to do, whether it's the nighttime before, the rehearsal dinner, the early morning getting ready, the chapel, the church, the afterwards, the honeymoon suite, you name it, they've got it with Walter Knoll Florists. Now, centerpieces are always a big deal. I never knew this till I got to St. Louis, but centerpieces is a big deal. Make sure your next event is taken care of. Walter Knoll will make sure he's got all the centerpieces just right. You want that event to come off without a hitch, and it doesn't without good centerpieces. Walter Knoll will take care of you there. Happy occasions, sad occasions, or virtually no occasion at all. Walter Knoll is there for all of your flowers, and they've been there for St. Louis for generations. 5 generations of Knowles have been taking care of the business. 1-800-341-ROSE or WKF.com. Let Walter Knoll be your family florist.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer. Medicare can feel like learning a whole new language. Supplement plans, Medicare Advantage, Part D prescription coverage. How do you know if your doctors are even in the network? That's where Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, comes in. Ryan is like having your own Medicare consultant, guiding you through every option at no cost to you. By law, the insurance companies pay his fee, not you. For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, 314-368-6808, or visit MedicareManSTL.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event. The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and gateway kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to WWTRaceway.com. The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to WWTRaceway.com.
That's WWTRaceway.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Classic cars are meant to be driven, and like any vehicles, they require regular maintenance. Our experts will help keep you and your classic on the road. Fall in love with your car again. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill, online at AutoArtSTL.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the
best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$620, Big 550, KTRS. Karen Travers joins us to talk about the latest when it comes to the continuing bombing of Iran and what is coming out of this White House. Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. What's the latest from President Trump?
So the president yesterday, again insisting that Iran is getting hit so hard that they want to make a deal, but then he said they're not ready to make a deal, that they change everything, and that they'll be ready soon. The day before, he had insisted that Iran is desperate to make a deal because they're getting hit so hard. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said today that Iran is begging the U.S. directly and indirectly to make a deal, but that every time they try to do this, he said that the people in charge there either break it or want to change it. He has indicated in the last few days that there are just fractions within the Iranian leadership that have made it difficult to progress things forward. I think the other really important thing to underline is that, we saw the U.S. again launch a night of attacks on Iranian targets, the 12th consecutive night, and Iran has fired back again, as they have continued to do during this period of escalation. Last night, it was Jordan again and Kuwait who are facing the incoming missile and drone strikes. Everything was intercepted, but Iran continues to show this ability to be able to fire back, and they have said they're specifically targeting U.S. military assets in these nearby countries.
Yeah. Also, the Strait of Hormuz continues to be gummed up, but now there's a new front. They've actually, the Houthis, which are backed by the Iranians, they're now going after the Red Sea.
Yeah, and there's, still not a lot of details on this latest incident, and a lot of questions about this. But overnight, Iranian-backed militants in Yemen appeared to take aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block that shipping lane. And that would really be a big issue, would choke off another critical waterway, and that would have major potential impacts for the global economy. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had said that this would be a problem for the whole world. He said, I hope that they will de-escalate, because I think the Houthis, frankly, got snookered into this thing by the Iranians. They were smart to stay out of it. They should stay out of it, and they should stop.
Karen Travers, same day. As we continue with the bombing, we'll wait and see what happens next. Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Thanks, Karen.
Have a great day.
You got it. 6:23 here, Big 550. KTRS. Busy day yesterday. That's Karen. Stephen Portnoy is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. The House adopted that budget plan for that $95 billion package to fund the Iran war. And we'll get into that with Stephen Portnoy here at the bottom of the hour.
What made you bring up the Pan Am flight?
Well, I saw the story and I didn't think...
Because that's a new... Did something else...
it happened this week or something.
Oh, okay.
But I saw the story and I was like, oh, that's interesting. They found a plane that crashed in 1952. I didn't think much of it. And then I started to read the story and I was like, wait a minute, this is an unbelievable story. And it's just like that story of the Sully Sullenberger story where he landed on the Hudson River.
And they're on the wing?
And everybody survived, and they're on the wing.
Ooh. Yeah.
And everybody got off. Everybody got safe. Then nobody got injured in that crash where the guy landed on the water, and they all were able to get off. And so that crash in 1952, where most people died, then fast forward 60 years, and something similar, and they all survived. So we learned from our mistakes. We were able to sort of, right? It's just really very interesting. That Sully Sullenberger story where he landed on the Hudson River and everybody got off. So in the days following that, they had a lot of, survivors were talking and whatever. So we had a chance to talk to one of the survivors. And it was fascinating. You asked the person, tell me about, what happened, what do you remember, and so on and so forth. And I remember distinctly asking this question. I said, I can only imagine the question was something along the lines of, I can only imagine the panic and the fear in the cabin when the plane lands and they're telling you to get out. And it's hard enough to deplane when you're sitting in the tarmac at the gates, right? What was it like when, in the rush of being in the water? So he's talking about it, and I said, did anybody say, oh, wait, I have to get my bag is in the overhead compartment?
No, yeah, can you hand me my...
can you hand me my purse? Oh, wait, my cell phone. I left my cell phone.
He sounded like, yeah.
And he said, there were people, Woo! He's like, we just sort of, as politely as we could, said, get out of here.
Good question. Yeah, because I unfortunately, I bet he was. He's like, there was absolutely somebody who was like, I need to get
my wallet's in that bag. I need my phone.
And maybe that's people's way of like making the situation not as serious as it is. If you're like, but there's plenty of time, I can grip my phone out of there, as opposed to just abandon ship right then.
I have said that numerous times. Fear does strange things to people, and you panic, you shut down, you freak out. You go. You start to scream. You don't say a word. Fear and terror are real emotions that your body handles in different ways.
Right. That's like, so the Costa Concordia, that cruise ship that hit a reef and like listed and kind of sunk. Watching that go, a lot of that they were saying the crew people were telling them, go back to your cabins, it's okay. Which brings it to the point of like the plane. Like, what if in that 1950s Pan Am plane they didn't know any better and they're like, everybody, it's fine, just stay seated until you know what I mean? Where
there were reports of the pilots
them trying to get
people. They're trying to tell them, get off the plane, get off the plane.
If you were in a situation like that too, though, where you were like, your gut feeling is like, I don't think going back to our cabin while the boat's listing is a good idea, yet that's what the crew, you know what I'm saying? How do you know at that point? Because they were saying we should not have listened. They were giving erroneous
Do you remember
instructions.
the whole Poseidon adventure?
Oh my God.
When they were going to the bottom of the boat, which is really the top of the boat.
Yes.
And that big fight. Yeah.
Yes.
How do you know what you're supposed to do?
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. Not that the Poseidon adventure really happened, but
Oh, it didn't?
Always follow Gene Hackman.
But Richard
I love that movie. I love that. And Ernest Borgnine, I love that movie.
The remake was good
Shelley
too.
Winters.
I didn't see the remake.
Kurt Russell and Richard Dreyfuss and Emmy Rossum.
Oh, okay.
From Shameless.
Oh my God, I watched disaster movies like that. I watched like there's something so.
There was a time when disaster movies were all the rage.
Oh my gosh, right? And it was like they could film them all in like a soundstage, like Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, where he's hanging off of a mountain, you
By
know,
one hand.
Yes, right. Or like Dante's Peak, you know, the volcano that takes over it's just, these things are kind of like.
Well, you had Airplane, and then you had the Poseidon Adventure,
Towering Inferno.
Inferno,
Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake. Yeah, right.
See,
Towering Inferno. OJ saves the cat.
I don't think I ever saw Towering Inferno. I think I was too little then. You know, all this talk about wanting to ban social media in France. Now they're going to ban social media. You think about how far we've come as a society. When we were kids, we had parental warnings on albums. I wasn't allowed to go see a PG-13 movie when I was 12 because they stopped me from going to a PG-13 movie.
Because you don't have an ID.
I didn't have an ID, and they were like, no, you're 12. You're not allowed to see this movie. And now they're like, here's a phone with every known pedophile in the universe on here. Go try and avoid them.
You know, I was thinking that though, like, so the kids, the age group, the parents are just as involved in social media as the kids are. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think is part of the problem. Is it like my age group? I guess I'm an old millennial or something.
Yeah.
You know, social media broke when we were I don't even know. I don't even remember that far back. But now that they're having kids, I feel like it's hard. You know, these parents, it's hard to keep the phones away or cut off social media because they're just as addicted to social media and it's part of their lives as well.
But we tell kids they can't smoke till they're 18?
Yeah.
Right. You can't drink till you're 21. You can't gamble till you're 7. So
until the kindergarten, until the gaming machine,
until they give you your phone.
Kindergarten.
So I mean, we used to put parameters on these kids,
right?
And say, hey, you know what? That's an adult thing. Don't do that. But you know, tell a 12-year-old, hey, or some parents of a 12-year-old, we're going to put in a nationwide ban of social media until the age of 16, and they'll call you every communistic name in the book. So I don't get it, but France is now banning social media. Yeah, I'm moving
Australia. Is that still?
I'm moving to France.
They were
right.
first.
Yeah.
Right.
6:30. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Take it away, Captain Paul.
McGraw 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. There's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. And we have more road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Captain Paul, thank you very much. Let's check a little bit of weather in the forecast. Dare I say it's almost a tad chilly outside. It's almost like you can smell fall in the air. I know fall's not coming anytime soon, but I think it's coming. 64 degrees right now, all the way up to 81 tomorrow. They're calling for showers and a high of just 72. Saturday, we're back in the upper 80s, and then we're back to the heat and the humidity on Sunday with a high of 95. But for a day or two, we get a little bit of a reprieve. We'll take it. High today of 82, 64 right now at 6:32. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the Trump administration is ready to help end the war in Ukraine, but acknowledges there is no quick path to a deal. Rubio met Thursday with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who said he emphasized Russia's readiness for a political resolution. Tropical storm Bertha has made landfall in Louisiana. The storm has been forecast to reach the upper Texas coast today before dissipating inland in Texas by Friday. In local headlines, RJ's Law has been signed by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. The measure creates a new purple alert system to locate missing people with developmental disabilities. The system will be run by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who will issue the alerts. Habitat for Humanity of St. Charles County's Driving Hope Golf Tournament has been rescheduled for September 8th. The event was originally scheduled in May, but was canceled due to inclement weather. 65 degrees. Time now is 6:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Let's talk Reese Nichols, because it's time to buy a house. And with the interest rates doing what they're doing and housing prices doing what they're doing, right? The experts say get in now before it gets worse to buy a house. Selling a house, man, you better have your thing buttoned up, because once it hits the market, the clock is ticking. You have to look as good as possible. Very different than years ago when buying and selling a house. So who are you going to use to help you navigate all this? How about Reese Nichols? Reese Nichols could be considered the most trusted name in real estate here in St. Louis. They proudly served St. Louis for a long, long time, but they have been under an assumed name. They were like Sam Clemens, and now they've changed. Well, they were Mark Twain. Now they're going back to their original name, Sam Clemens. See, what happened was they've been in the market for 45 years. They've been in Kansas City for a long, long time, too. They were Reese Nichols in Kansas City. They just recently changed their name, so it's continuous throughout the state. It makes sense. So when you see the Reese Nichols logo and a Reese Nichols agent, just know the logo and the name is different. The same great traditional expertise that's been around for a long, long time. Buying and selling, very difficult today. You need an expert on the front lines who has that institutional knowledge. And where do you get that? Reese Nichols or reesenichols.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Lots of talk in Washington, D.C. about funding the Pentagon and funding the continuing bombing and the story in Iran. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. I guess it passed the House yesterday. What was the big story?
Yeah, this is a budget resolution which tees up the process of reconciliation, so there'll be much more action before it winds up, landing on the president's desk if it does. But this initiates the process. It passed yesterday narrowly, 216 to 214. You had 2 Republicans voting against it, and with all the Democrats. And then it goes to the Senate, which, if it passes the same resolution, then gets the process of actually crafting the legislation behind it, the reconciliation bill. And so that's why it's likely that this won't happen anytime soon, because as the Senate takes up a reconciliation bill in the Senate, because it can't be filibustered, and that's the whole point of doing this, they do have what are called votoramas, where there are unlimited amendments that can be proposed, and Democrats can try to put Republicans in awkward positions by putting forward things that they might have to answer for in campaign ads between now and November. So it's very possible that the Senate leader, John Thune, will say, let's do this after the election because we're so busy with everything else we have to do. For example, avoiding a government shutdown at the end of September, and there are confirmation votes to be had. And we're just, we know we need to fund the war, he'll say, but let's just delay it until after the election.
What's the Stop Insider Trading Act? What was that?
That's a bill. It's interesting because it's generally thought to have widespread support in Congress. It would prevent members of Congress from trading individual corporate stocks. The idea there being that members of Congress may have access to information that the rest of us don't have. They may have an unfair advantage. And some members of Congress have made a lot of money trading stocks over the years. And this would impose essentially internal fines they'd have to pay to their respective houses if they, run afoul of this law, if it becomes a law. What it does not do is it doesn't affect the stock trading of the president or the vice president. But, backers don't want the perfect to be the enemy of the good. They say, let's at least prevent members of Congress from trying to enrich themselves with insider information or access to non-public information that they may have on their committees and other investigations. And so what you are likely to see is this moving forward. But what's interesting is Republicans yesterday in the House attached voter ID provisions to this stock trading bill, which is why it didn't see overwhelming passage in the House. You had 13 Democrats voting for it, but most Democrats opposed it because they didn't want to get behind this voter ID stuff that was attached to it.
So I get this straight. A citizen has insider information, uses it to make a stock trade, finds out, they go to jail. A member of Congress does the same thing. They pay a fine?
Well, it depends on what you consider insider information, right? Because the idea is, generally speaking, that as a function of their service in the House or Senate and in committees, they may be able to, have conversations or, come upon information or hear from agencies about various things that the average person may not have information about. Specifically, insider trading generally involves, actual information from companies as opposed to just the general knowledge that a member of Congress has about, the shape and course of the economy or various decisions the government may be making, which, any really, really interested American may be able to find out for himself. But as a member of Congress, you're kind of sort of obliged to kind of sort of keep tabs on everything. So it doesn't necessarily amount to insider trading per se that would result in sort of criminal charges. But the idea is that members of Congress, generally speaking, have a much more intense focus on what's going on in the world and in the country and in business than the average person.
Interesting. I'd talk to Martha Stewart about that. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, have yourself a good.
Denied it.
Have a good day, Stephen. Thanks for checking in.
You too.
You got it. All right. Sorry. Was that snarky? Was that too snarky?
Never. It's never too snarky.
I didn't mean to imply anything other than I'd like to talk to Martha Stewart about that. Or maybe I'm making carrot cake and I need to check in with Martha Stewart.
Right, you're having a dinner party. You need to consult.
Yes.
Did they do a Saturday Night Live episode when she was in prison and showing people how to make stuff in the behind the prison walls?
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll make a doily out of this, and the bed sheets.
I think that whoever put Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg together should win some type of an award. That is hilarious.
They're like besties.
Oh, what? Sure, why not? Snoop Dogg. I mean, that guy's made a whole career out of being Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
He is who he is.
I mean, he's made a career out of being Snoop Dogg.
Oh man, talk about not being able. I asked for his album when I was 13, and I couldn't get it because it was parental advisory lyrics on it.
Oh, was that right?
I mean, the struggle.
Yeah,
it was a real struggle.
Think about that for a second. Think about what they just pounded us in. If you see a PG-13 movie, you are going to hell. Here's a phone with every bit of porn ever invented on it. Go enjoy yourself. I mean, I couldn't go see Real Science because it was a PG-13 movie.
Kelly LeBrock.
I mean, think about that for a second. And we just
underwear in your head.
And we just hand these devices to 12-year-olds, and it's like, if we don't give them to them, then they're not going to have any social life.
I mean, so I respect that. That's got to be a real so for you guys as a parent, would that be hard? Even though you're like, I don't want my daughter to have this, but then you're also, she's coming, everybody else has one, and I feel so left out, and blah blah. Like, at what point are you like, okay, I don't want her to, or you're like,
the struggle I have is coming to grips with my mother, obviously, right, had her mental health issues. She's now passed. She's in a better place. But what's so difficult about dealing with a parent who had mental health, some of what she did, I agree with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't all
right. And some of what she did was really very brilliant. And other things, it was insane.
Sure.
And so how do you square that circle? And so now you have a child and you want to then, hey, my mom was hard to me. I couldn't get anything past my mother when it came to staying out late or, trying to pull the wool over her eyes. And, I would get the old what for real quick. But yet you're like, well, now you sound like your mom. It's like, well, is that the good part of my mom or the crazy part of my mom?
Was it important to you then at that point also that, I know a lot of parents will say, like, I wanted to give my child a better experience or a better, life than I had or something to that effect.
Well, sure. Everybody wants to do that. But I'm just saying in terms of, how much do you let, because it was a vice. You were in a vice. So you want her to live and you want her to try things and, climb up a tree and fall down and break her arm and she's got to learn the hard way type of deal. And then how much of it are you like, absolutely not?
Right.
You're not doing that.
It's like how you felt or how
you were. It's a cat and mouse game. What do you, So who was the parent? I won't out them on the radio, but they said that they would do laundry and they found an outfit that the daughter wore that they just thought was completely inappropriate. So she didn't throw it out. She just hid it for 2 weeks. And if the child hadn't mentioned, hey, where's that blouse? Then she threw out the blouse.
Interesting.
Yeah. Pretty good strategy, actually.
Yeah.
744 here, Big 550 KTRS.
It's the GOAT, the greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old GOAT in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to sign. Discount includes $850 in lease time. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Street Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing.
Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. How are the roads?
McGraw, we are accident-free, but 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. On the east side, 64 West is crowded between Baugh and 5564 West. There's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. And we have more road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Conch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking highs back towards the lower 80s. Partly sunny skies with low relative humidity this afternoon. Get outdoors because into Friday, we're going to be tracking chances of scattered showers and storms throughout the day, lasting towards Saturday. Throughout the second half of the morning, though, eventually it looks to push back out. Temperatures start to rise, winds back out of the southwest. That means highs towards the upper 80s by the afternoon hours before dangerous heat looks to return into Sunday and early portions of next week. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
6:47 here, Big 550 KTRS. Gelmish and Sons. Gelmish and Sons, heating and cooling. It is the heat is going to return, and don't be fooled. We're not out of this thing yet. So when the air conditioner goes on the fritz, what do? You call Gelmish and Sons, 314-993-1110 or gelmishandsons.com. They've been around for 76 years, and in those 76 years, they have earned the trust of St. Louis homeowners, one homeowner at a time, each and every time for 76 years. They've been through 76 summers, and yeah, they've got all hands on deck. You know, they have people who've been working at Gelmish and Sons for 41 years. That is a long time. And he's become part of the family. But that's why you stay at a company for 41 years, because they let you do your job. I don't even think Sean Thornton can even retire, even if he wanted to. They wouldn't let him. He's got all that institutional knowledge, and that's why it's beneficial, because when you call Gelmish and Sons and somebody like Sean Thornton comes out to the house, you know that they know what they're doing to get it done and get it done right. They take care of the St. Louis homeowner, and that's why Gelmish and Sons has been going strong for all these many years. So for anything with your air conditioning or in the furnace come fall, Gelmish is the name to remember. 314-993-1110 or online at gelmishandsons.com.
Friday, August 28th, the Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows presents the When Mental Illness Hits Home Conference, Mental Health Through the Ages. Learn how to provide support for the mental health of your loved one, whether an adolescent, college age, or a senior, and how to access insurance coverage for mental health services when mental illness hits home. Friday, August 28th from 9 to 3 in the Shrine Visitor Center. Visit snows.org/illness 2026. That's snows.org/illness 2026.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Anne-Marie here for my friends at Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. We all feel the sting of inflation. That's why putting off replacing your old windows could cost you more in the future. New Anderson windows make your home more comfortable, more energy efficient, and more beautiful, while potentially saving you money on utility bills. Black Fox Cooper specializes exclusively in Anderson replacement windows and offers a personalized, educational approach called the Window Read. Don't wait. Improve your home today. Call 314-270-1484. Online at blackfoxcooper.com.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Freerks, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
All right, lay it on me.
Janice Siegel is 73 today. Yeah. She's from the Manhattan Transfer.
Oh, the Manhattan Transfer is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was in a movie. This song, I'm trying, just that part.
Yeah, I don't know. Manhattan Transfer, though, they got some great tunes.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
This was their big top 40 hit
what
in
year?
1980.
Okay.
Manhattan Transfer. Yeah, they were. I don't know. They weren't a doo-wop band. I don't know what Manhattan Transfer was, but
yeah, so they were jazzy
swing, kind of,
acapella.
yeah, jazz fusion, kind of. I got to download that on my phone. I'll be back in a minute. Hold on. 6:54 here, Big 550 KTRS. So I know you guys mentioned this yesterday. This Sam's Steakhouse story where this manager embezzled more than $1 million from Sam's Steakhouse. Now, I love Sam's Steakhouse. I love everything about it. That is old school charm at Sam's Steakhouse in South City. Just up the street from Coriezu, I guess, right?
On Gravois.
Gravois and Laclede Station Road, maybe, or something?
That is exactly it.
But the guy embezzled $1 million from the restaurant. How did they not know $1 million was missing?
What was the period of time? Do we know? Like how long?
It's a good question. I don't know. He was sentenced to 21 months.
He used the company's credit card.
But you would assume you have to spread out those massive purchases to stay under the
Target.
radar.
So $82,000 he spent at Target. So if he embezzled $1 million, he said he spent $82,000 at Target, $30,000 at Vineyard Vines. Guy must have looked fantastic.
Okay, real quick, what are you spending at? I mean, I know Target, like $80,000 at Target.
Well, when you're wearing clothes from Vineyard Vines, what are you buying your? I mean, how many pairs of socks can you buy at Target?
I know. Well, I'm curious. Do we have this? I'd love to see this.
$40,000 at Amazon, $100,000 at local hotel stays for his acquaintance. But that adds up to what? $125,000, $150,000.
$162,000.
Where's the extra $850,000 from? Where'd that come from? Or go?
Don't know.
I don't know.
And he's got to pay all this money back.
Well, I mean,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, crazy. Good. I mean, I'm surprised Sam's Steakhouse was able to survive.
How did they discover this?
Yeah, well, I mean, when your taxes aren't paid, and then they call you up and say, "Hey, you haven't paid your taxes," and
and how? I'm always want to know, getting the inside of the head of, are you
what
just
did they
so
think was,
were you just not thinking? Were you so?
Was it gambling?
Deep, right? Is there
somehow
something
$850,000 disappeared, and it's got to be gambling or drugs. And I mean, I don't know. It hasn't been reported one way or the other, but gambling or drugs, it's just crazy. $1 million. But I mean, theft like that, and it happens in the news. It happens all the time.
Right, which is always, I just want to ask, like, do you just not care about the consequences, or do you just legit think that you won't get caught?
Or only the few get caught and so many get away with it?
Right, is this happening so much under our noses that?
Yeah. Crazy stuff. So I went and I'm gonna give a shout out to. So we mentioned Sam's Steakhouse, which is, I love everything about Sam's Steakhouse. It's such a cool, special place to go have dinner. Great steak. The service isn't just good; it's like insanely. They like hug you when they come in. It's the best. I love a good Sam's Steakhouse.
They have a piano bar.
They got a piano bar. They got a aquarium out there. It's Christmas time. Such Christmas decorations are done just perfectly at Sam's Steakhouse. Is the best. The other day I went and had dinner, and I possibly could have had the best hamburger in St. Louis. With all due respects to O'Connell's.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah,
it's a bold statement.
Yeah, it was last Friday, and we it was hot. You don't want to cook, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we dragged Emerson out, and she, oddly enough, had a grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay,
like every other grilled cheese sandwich she's ever had. But I had a burger. And I bit into the burger, and I was like, "Whoa, this is a burger!" I devoured the burger. I was like, when I finished the hamburger, I was like, "This could be the best burger I've ever had."
What was on it?
Well, it was the bun, the burger, and lettuce, tomato, maybe even. I mean, it was delicious.
Was it smash or was it?
It was a regular hamburger. It was a regular hamburger. What I like to do with a hamburger is I like to cut it in half and then eat the half as opposed to the whole thing.
Okay.
Like a Big Mac, I grab the whole. Yeah, I like to cut it in half and then I eat it from the middle out. Do you want to tell us? Tell us where? I'll tell you where. Cottle Village in Cottleville. It's a new place out there, and it's like a half whiskey bar, half outside place. They've done a beautiful job. It's like an event space. Cottle Village, man, they brought it home, baby.
So is it a food truck?
No. It's a restaurant.
Okay.
It's called Cottle Village, and it's like a little bit of everything. They've done a wonderful, wonderful job of sort of outdoor, indoor, everything else. I know we got traffic, but there's no accidents, and I had a good burger. We'll do traffic after news, 7 o'clock, KTR St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The 12th straight night of air attacks exchanged between the U.S. and Iran. President Trump threatening to strike an Iranian bridge or power plant for every ship hit in the Strait of Hormuz. Response from Secretary of State Marco Rubio at a meeting of Southeast Asian leaders in the Philippines.
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing.
President Trump attending the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. service members killed in the Iranian conflict. ABC's Martha Raddatz with more on that.
This is Iran's fault for these deaths. And I think to bring them home and have their families there and see those coffins, caskets come off that military aircraft is just a powerful, powerful punch in the gut.
It was a windy, rainy night in New Orleans.
Tropical storm Bertha making landfall in Louisiana, the center of the storm, passing right over us here in New Orleans. Winds gusting at about 45 miles an hour. At one point, this entire area was underwater. That storm surge from Lake Pontchartrain inundating the streets here.
That's ABC's Victor Okendo in New Orleans. Bertha now headed to the Texas Gulf Coast. A 5.0 magnitude earthquake today in Texas.
The town of Miami, Texas, population 539, is not on a major fault line, but it's surrounded by oil and natural gas wells. In the past, earthquakes have been associated with the reinjection of the wastewater byproduct of fracking. A clerk at a local grocery store tells ABC News that this morning's quake knocked some pictures off of mantles. There have been no reports of any injuries.
ABC's Jim Ryan and Dallas high water rescues taking place in parts of West Virginia. European Union hitting Google with $1 billion fine for violating antitrust laws around its search engine and the Google Play Store. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths, local family-owned company in business for nearly half a century. We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing.
We use a composite material that looks and feels like luxury stone. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton or Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from the drop-down menu on the website. Our phone, 800-222-6676, or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
Quick check of traffic, and then we'll get to the newsroom. 7:03. Captain Paul, St. Louis Clouds and Company Traffic Center.
McGraw 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. On the east side, 64 West is crowded between 25th Street and 5564 West, and 5570 East is running slow between 64 and Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
65 degrees at 7:04. Here's what's happening now. The federal government is accusing St. Louis University Medical School of racial discrimination in its application process. The Department of Education says it is launching an investigation into 5 medical universities, including SLU, over allegations they violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The federal investigation comes after President Trump signed 2 executive orders last year targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and race-based processes in education programs and admissions. The Special School District of St. Louis County is making policy changes following a Department of Justice investigation that ruled the district violated federal disability law. SSD said it will no longer use seclusion or supine restraint after the DOJ found the district used the practices routinely instead of just for emergency situations, which is the only time they are allowed under Missouri law. A recently filed lawsuit alleges a 9-year-old with autism and ADHD was improperly placed in a seclusion room dozens of times over 2 school years. SSD did not mention the lawsuit or the investigation in its announcement. Black bears are returning to the region again. KTRS's Brendan Wiese tells you about an opportunity to discover more about these charismatic creatures.
The Missouri Department of Conservation will be offering a free virtual program Friday, July 31st at 10:30 a.m. on the Missouri black bear. These mammals have become quite prevalent, especially in the southern part of the state, but sightings in St. Louis are becoming a regular occurrence as well. The virtual program will investigate the comeback of the black bear and how to reduce possible conflicts as their population continues to grow. The program is free and open to the public. For more information, go to mdc.mo.gov. I'm Brendan Weesey, KTRS News.
Over 90 workers are getting laid off after the Parkway School District switched to a different food provider. The impacted workers include food service workers and administrators for Chartwells, a division of the British conglomerate Compass Group that specializes in serving schools. The losses come as the school district decided to switch to a different company, Southwest Food Service Excellence. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 65 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. Jeffrey Epstein continues to torture us in all sorts of ways. A recruiter for Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. And, of course, the conspiracy theories are flying. Brad Garrett's got all that coming up in about 35 minutes. Jim Ryan. Some open AI started by Sam Altman, who's from St. Louis, has gone rogue, and they've got egg on their face, as well as all sorts of questions they have to answer. Jim Ryan's got that story at 7:50. Antonio French is going to be along. Frank Cusimano. Melissa Price-Smith wants to be the prosecuting attorney in St. Louis County. She's going to join us in studio in the 9 o'clock hour. So lots of talk in town about St. Louis Cardinals. And I've gotten into this argument, I can't tell you how many times over the last number of years, that the Cardinals are cheap. They're such a great fan base, not spending money. Right? And my argument is, it doesn't matter how much money they spend. It only matters if they win. So the fact that they didn't spend money or did spend money doesn't matter. What matters is the game on the field. And then, of course, me being a Mets fan, Mets are now spending money like drunken sailors. And so let me read for you a little passage from a Wall Street Journal article that came out yesterday. The headline is, "The Mets are the biggest waste of money in baseball history." The New York Mets have built their history out of hijinks and failure. This is a franchise that once saw its mascot give fans the finger and had two teammates blame a heated argument on a disagreement over the difference between a rat and a raccoon. But since hedge fund billionaire Steve Cohen bought the club in the late 2020, he has made it his personal mission to change that by throwing obscene amounts of money at the roster. Cohen's fortune allowed the Mets to have the highest payroll at the start of the season. Only they have now gone on to make history in the exact opposite way of how he envisioned. The group has turned out to be the biggest waste of money in baseball history. The Mets enter play Wednesday with 43 wins, the fifth worst mark in league history. That puts them on pace for 68 wins over the course of the baseball season, or the equivalent of $5.2 million per victory. Even adjusting for inflation, that's the highest figure for any team since at least 2000, according to the Wall Street Journal analysis of payroll. What's even more telling about this is that the Mets are about to break their own record. The previous high water mark for inflation-adjusted dollars per win also belonged to the Mets in 2023 at $4.8 million. So it goes on to say how the Tampa Bay Rays or the Oakland A's have reached the World Series and some of the smallest budgets in the sport. And the Dodgers spend on the same level as the Mets, but they've got two back-to-back World Series. The Mets are the worst of all categories, spending like champions and playing like cellar dwellers. At the same time, a healthier dollar per win ratio isn't necessarily a sign of something good. In fact, the 9 most efficient teams on the basis all missed the playoffs and merely managed to be not completely terrible on shoestring budgets. The 2006 Marlins paid just over $300,000 for each of their 78 wins, thanks to a payroll of $24 million in today's dollars. The entire team's budget was less than what 5 individual Mets are making this season alone, even accounting for inflation. The Mets have become, was middle of the pack spending to now breaking payroll records. The influx of money has allowed them to sign Juan Soto. The Mets have gone on as well to navigate. The Mets but for the Mets, this has gone as well as trying to navigate the Van Wyck Expressway at rush hour. And so it goes on. So there you go. I don't want to hear Cardinal fans complain about the Cardinals not spending money. Who cares how much money you spend?
The Dodgers.
It matters how you spend the money. It's not just the dollar figure. It's what you spent it on. Did you waste it? Did you get good value? Did you overpay for somebody? Did you let somebody go who ended up being terrible? That's the argument. But just the sheer spending, who cares? So there. Thought that was kind of interesting. All right. We good? From the text line, where was that burger? Cottle Village. That's the name of the place. It's out on, I guess it's on Highway N, right as you get to Highway K. It's a relatively new place. They've got like an outdoor patio. They've got like a little grill. It's kind of a lot of things. It's trying to be all things at once. Got a little whiskey bar, but it's got a restaurant. They have a nice patio, sort of in between all these nice pine trees. It's a really very nice setting. But inside, it's beautiful. Like a nice little bar area, sort of an event space. Burger was off the charts. Speaking of burgers.
You want one?
No. Speaking of burgers. I know it's the oldest radio game in the world, but I must be hungry this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We had pizza last night. We had pizza last night. And we had pickup pizza. Pickup, right? It's busy. It's late. She's got an event. Let's just go pick up pizza on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Murphy's. You ever been to Papa Murphy's?
No, and it's funny you say that because I read somewhere that I think a lot of them are going away.
Papa Murphy's?
Yeah, and I was like, I should probably go experience this before they. Yeah, I read something that they're.
So there's one on Big Bend in 141.
Okay.
And then there's another one on, I think, Mid-Rivers Mall Drive out in St. Charles. Papa Murphy's is, I never would have walked into a Papa Murphy's. But for some reason, somebody said, hey, Papa Murphy's is good. And I was like, really? Papa Murphy's is good? It's take and bake.
Mm-hmm.
So they make the pizza for you, and then you take it home, and you put it in the oven, and you bake it, and then you eat. It is fantastic. It is great pizza.
Is it like what kind of crust? Like
so they have
New York style?
They have you can pick your own crust in New York, whatever. So I usually do the original, and it comes on a big, huge cardboard paper plate, and you put the whole thing in the oven. You just take the saran wrap off, and you put the whole thing in the oven, and cooks up, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and it's not frozen pizza. It's just really, really, really good fresh pizza. I'm telling you, man. Don't shake your head at me. Papa Murphy's has got it going on.
So you've got Telegraph in South County, Baldwin on Big Bend, St. Peter's, and then Warrensburg.
Okay, there you go. Papa Murphy's. I'm telling you, this is unsolicited. This is not an advertisement. This is just me passing along some keen information for you. Papa Murphy's.
Now I'm hungry. Thank you.
Not only was it good for dinner last night, but it was actually pretty good for breakfast this morning too.
You didn't bring it?
No, I ate it on the way in. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
No accidents, but 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 at Sunset Hills. We have construction in the Metro East, but no slowdowns right now. There's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203, and more road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza movie night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking afternoon highs towards the lower 80s today, partly sunny skies, lower humidity. Get outdoors because come Friday, We're going to be tracking some scattered showers and storms lasting throughout the day into the overnight hours before looking to push out into the second half of Saturday morning. Temperatures also look to rise into Saturday afternoon, 88 degrees. By Sunday on, we're looking at the potential to see some dangerous heat looking to return. Feels like temperatures back towards the triple digits. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch from the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Baldy Electric, because we needed some electricity to cook that Papa John's pizza, and we use the oven. All right, sorry for the transition. Look, you need electricity. Everybody needs electricity. And when it goes on the fritz, when it's not working, when the plugs get a little worn out, maybe you want to do a little renovation. Maybe you've got some new buildings and you've got to rewire them for all the new technology, residential or commercial. Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. He's a licensed electrician, and he has a full team of electricians ready, willing, and able to help. He's trained them all, and so they are courteous, they're friendly, they're conscientious, and they'll get the job done. They'll get it done right. So that's what you expect from Michael Baldy. They take it from their leader. He is a very, very nice man. I hope he's not listening. Just a very nice, genuinely nice man, and has got a wonderful family man, and runs a great company. So you'd be proud to get Michael Baldy on speed dial, 314-968-9999, especially with this heat and this humidity. You want extra power somewhere to power a couple of air conditioners or something. You're going to need an electrician, Michael Baldy. How about this? He wired for a generator from a friend of mine, got rave reviews. And then the other day, he was wiring somebody for a hot tub. So he's busy, whether it's residential or commercial. Michael Baldy, or baldyelectric.com.
Did you know Florissant is 240 years old this year? Come out and celebrate 240 years of Florissant at the historic Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. Join the City of Florissant and Old Town Partners for an evening of community and fun. Festivities begin at 5:30 with the unveiling of a 240th anniversary plaque, followed by live music from North Wind's Band at 6 and a family-friendly movie beginning at 7:30. Food and drinks will be available from Knights of Columbus 2951, sponsored by CNB St. Louis Bank and Helfers. Come celebrate Florissant's past, present, and future. We'll see you at the Old St. Ferdinand Shrine.
It's Wednesday, July 29th. Join in the celebration.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnard has been serving your boating needs for 40 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids. Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Kuna Food Service
Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTR. Show with sports director Brandon Lisi. Weeknights 7 to 9 on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
You know, it's interesting. Major Nelson grew up to become an oil baron in Texas a couple years later. See what I did there?
Yes.
Yeah. Larry Hagman. See what I did there?
But that was the wrong that was Bewitched.
Oh, that was Bewitched? Oh, that wasn't...
which is hilarious.
No, wait, that wasn't I Dream of Jeannie?
No, that's this. And wow, this is weird, Rose. Tell him.
So when I walked in, Carl goes, you get to choose which theme song.
Yeah.
Either
I Dream of
I
Jeannie.
Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched.
Uh-huh.
So I had I Dream of Jeannie queued up.
Play the Bewitched again.
All right. So that's I Dream of Jeannie.
Wow. Is it kind of similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they both had cartoon intros.
Yes.
Weren't it the same? Bewitched? What was she in Bewitched?
She was a witch.
Oh, and then
Jeannie was just a genie. Yeah.
And Major Nelson found her. Yeah.
Yeah, found Nelson in a bottle on a desert island when he
landed from his space trip.
Yeah. Well, and Agnes Moorehead was the mother in Bewitched, and she's from St. Louis. She's got her star on the
right on.
Delmar Walk of Fame. Yeah.
Nice. Are you on that yet?
No, it's an outrage.
Right.
I don't think there are that many living people on it.
Well, like John Hamm and
lots
those
of living
guys.
people on it. Yeah, there's lots of living people on it.
Well, I was giving them an excuse.
Oh, yeah. Bewitched. Yeah, they changed Darren's in the middle of the season, right? They changed Darren's
from like season 2 to season 3.
Dick York to whatever the new guy. Dick Sargent.
Sergeant York.
Yeah. Then they had it. Wasn't Tabitha a spinoff from that?
Oh my
years
gosh,
later?
that's right.
That was her daughter. So then the first episode
Lisa Hartman
in black and white, and then they went to color.
Wait, Lisa Hartman?
No, that's Mary Hartman.
That's
Mary
Mary.
Hartman.
Oh, my bad.
Lisa Hartman's married to a country guy, wasn't she? Married to a country guy. She was married to like Brad Paisley, or
That's Kim Paisley.
Okay.
Kim Williams Paisley.
is
Kimberly
Brad-
Williams.
is married to Brad Paisley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's on Hallmark Channel all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Okay, well, who's
Clint Black?
Clint Black. Thank you.
Oh,
that's right.
Clint
Yeah,
Black.
yeah. The Last Troubadour.
And so she grew up and she was
Clint
on
Black.
Knots Landing.
She was on Knots Landing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And did you remember Soap?
I
love Soap. Soap was where Billy Crystal got his start. kind of.
Right. I was like, what is that? Why is he talking? Like, it's Soap. Is it a satire of soaps? Is that,
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah, it was
okay,
sort of
it's a little
cartoonish. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He
But it
was
was
so
risque.
bizarre. in that.
Robert Guillaume was there. Benson, right? That was a spinoff from Benson.
Benson.
right?
And
Soap
what's-
was first, and then Benson.
Yeah.
What's her name from Who's the Boss?
Catherine Hellman.
Thank you, Catherine.
Oh yes, right. She was
Hellman.
on there. Yeah.
She was
She's from the Hellman's Fortune, the Hellman's Mayonnaise Fortune.
Nuh-uh.
I don't know. I
You just made
just
it. I
made
think
that up.
it's spelled
Soap was
differently.
great. They had a 5-year Bible, and of course, ABC canceled it after year 4, so everything ended on a cliffhanger.
On
Nice.
Soap? With
Yes.
Soap?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no one ever knows whatever happened in Soap?
No.
It's an outrage.
I know. I told you. Like I watch Cozy or an Antenna TV, and all these shows are on. Too Close for Comfort, 227. It's fun.
Which one's
Barney
too,
Miller.
Which one's Too Close for Comfort? Which one's that one?
We were just
Ted
talking about
Ted
this.
Knight and
oh yeah, JJ Bullock.
yes,
Jim JJ Bullock. Yeah, at the center, the circle gets the square.
Monroe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Ted Knight, they were in San Francisco, and Ted Knight was a cartoonist, and he drew Cosmic Cow, but he had a little puppet that he drew.
Okay.
And oddly enough, the episode that was on yesterday, the first scene he had on a college, it was Marquette University, I believe.
Yeah, that was his thing. He wore
the
a
next
college
one
sweatshirt every show.
was
Yeah.
St. Louis University.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was just like, huh. It was black, but yeah, St. Louis and Billiken. Yeah,
Yeah.
St. Louis University.
Huh.
hmm
Too Close for Jim JJ Bullock. God love him. Yeah.
He was like he was he challenged or something or
Who, Jim JJ
in
Bullock?
this show? Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
a neighbor, but he seemed kind of slow or so. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
know.
know if we identified it at that point.
He was like he was the crazy Luther character from Coach or the Newman character, right? Everyone's always got that crazy neighbor.
Yeah,
You know, every show's got a crazy neighbor.
that'd be Jack Hay and 227.
Right. Every show had a crazy neighbor. What was the One Day at a Time had Schneider, the
was the super.
right? He would
'Cause he
always
had
barge
keys.
in.
All right.
So he wasn't the crazy neighbor. He was the other crazy super.
That's right.
And
Who was all up
Bookman
in your
on
business.
Good Times.
That's
Yeah.
right. And the one would just hang her head out the window all the time while they're sitting on the stoop. Was that maybe that was 227, but it was an older woman. She just and her whole scenes were just hanging out the window of whatever, and listening to whatever they were talking
Yeah.
about.
Every sitcom's got
Yes.
a crazy neighbor. Yeah.
I love it.
What's that?
Kramer.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Every show's got the crazy neighbor.
Oh, that's I love that.
I mean,
that's
you
right.
you can go on and on and on. Look at Three's Company, right? You had the Ropers,
They were
right?
the landlords.
Right,
Well,
the landlords, the
and
crazy
then
neighbor, and Larry.
Full
And Larry
House
was a
and
crazy
Family
neighbor,
Ties, or Full House and Family Matters put that together because Urkel was the crazy neighbor,
right?
For
It's-
Full House.
Yeah. Well, and then what was the Family Ties had
Oh yes,
Skippy.
Skippy
Skip.
Handelman.
Yeah, and then not Who's the Boss, the Family Pains, Growing Pains had
Boner.
Staboner.
Staboner. Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is the dad's name.
So right, every sitcom's got a crazy neighbor.
Wow.
Home Improvement has Wilson.
See,
But he's not
Whoa.
crazy. He's actually the voice of reason. on
I'm
that.
just saying,
But it's in the sitcom formula. You have to have
the crazy neighbor. Yeah, the quirky crazy neighbor. Yeah.
Although I will have to
The
say,
whole thing's a formula. It
Golden
all got
Girls-
started in Homer because Homer in the Odyssey had that crazy neighbor.
100%.
And Homer's was Ned Flanders.
And who was the guy in Empty Nest? The-
He was the Joe Azuzu guy.
That's it. So the
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
so Empty Nest was a spinoff from Golden Girls because he was the attractive doctor guy neighbor that Blanche always tried to hook up with.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he got his own show.
Good to know. All right, good. Stuart at Stuart's American Mortgage. Let's talk mortgage rates because they're all over the place. They're higher and maybe getting even higher. Who knows? But the false narrative here is you go around shopping the rates. Who's got the best rate? No. You're doing it all wrong. They all have the same rates, right? Everyone talks about elevated rates. They've all got the same. They're all right there. It's a formula. You put in your formula with all your numbers, and the BAT machine, the BAT computer spits out whatever your interest rate is. Shop the fees. Call up a mortgage banker, mortgage broker, and ask them, how much are you going to charge me to originate this mortgage? That's, well, hold on a second. We need to get some numbers from you, right? And then, of course, they're off and running, and they'll try and sell you the rate. At Stuart's American Mortgage, again, all the same rates, different fees. Shop the fees. At Stuart, he doesn't have any fees. No fees. The bagel loan, big fat zero. bagel looks like a zero, that's how much he charges in fees. Anything over $200,000. Call Stuart, 314-324-4440, especially now with elevated interest rates. 314-324-4440. Save yourself some money and get that house that you've been yearning for. We'll help you make that offer. Because he has some extra room, because he doesn't charge any fees. Call Stuart. He'll help you out. 314-324-4440 or stewartsamc.com. Who was the weird dude? Who was the weird white dude in the Jeffersons with the crazy hair?
Mr. Bentley.
Okay. Mr. Kravitz on Bewitched.
Gladys.
Yes, Gladys Kravitz. Friends were all crazy neighbors. Yeah. I Love Lucy had the Mertz. The Flintstones had the Rubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who was in Mary Tyler Moore? Oh, Sue Ann Nevins. Was she a neighbor or just another?
She worked on the TV
Oh,
station.
okay.
Yeah, but Rhoda was the neighbor. Yeah, Rhoda was the neighbor. 731 here, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, and everyone's got a crazy traffic guy. Everybody's got a captain in the traffic center. Ours is Captain Paul Kopsky. Captain, take it away.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. 5570 East is running slow between Illinois 203 and 111. 270 North is crowded from Tesson Ferry to Gravois, and 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
66 degrees right now, headed all the way up to 81. Tomorrow, we're going to get some rain in the forecast with a high of 72. Got some cloudiness and occasional rain, and then overnight, Friday into Saturday, they're calling some evening thunderstorms overnight. Low of Friday into Saturday of 68. Then the heat up begins. More rain on Saturday with a high of 88. And then Sunday, we're back into the heat and the humidity, high of 95 on Sunday. 66 right now. At 7:33, back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. The Minnesota man who pleaded guilty to killing a top Democratic state lawmaker and her husband is due to be sentenced today in federal court. Vance Belter has confessed in the June 2025 fatal shooting of House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. The 59-year-old also agreed to plead guilty to attacking Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette. Federal health advisors are meeting to review a group of controversial chemicals called peptides. The unapproved injections have become a popular wellness trend promoted by influencers and celebrities for building muscle, healing injuries, and other uses. The two-day meeting underway today comes at the direction of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has described himself as a big fan of peptides. In local headlines, St. Louis is among large American cities seeing a drop in crime. That's according to a new report by the Council of Criminal Justice, which reports murders in St. Louis are down 2% during the first 6 months of the year. And tickets for the annual Guns N' Hoses event are about to go on sale. Tickets will be available beginning August 1st. Are you or a family member turning 65, and are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 66 degrees. Time now is 7:34. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Let's talk about retirement, because at some point we'd all like to retire and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Well, look, if you do not have somebody who is helping you take your money out of the accounts that you've been putting money into, it's awful easy to put the money into the accounts. Oftentimes they're tax-free, tax-efficient way to put them in. But no one tells you a tax-efficient way to take them out. That's why you got to sit down with somebody who knows how to be tax efficient and all this stuff. And that's Kevin Lloyd. He's been a sponsor of the show for 7-8 years now. You blink your eyes at 7-8 years. And in that time, we've become dear friends. We host a show together on the weekends called When Retirement Happens. And it is chock full of great information about retirement. You know who loves that show? His current clients love to check in, and they love to sort of find out all the little nuggets, and they've heard it before, and often many of the same strategies he uses are with them. But why is it that his clients love the show as much as other people? It's because they're not afraid of retirement. They don't put their head in the sand. They've taken the steps to be informed and to have Kevin to create a true financial plan. So now, instead of being afraid of retirement, they embrace it, and they sleep well at night knowing that their retirement is in good hands. Whether it's tax-efficient ways to take the money out, tax-efficient ways to deal with Social Security, your investments, all of it. That's why you sit down with Kevin Lloyd, so you're not afraid of retirement, and you can actually enjoy it and embrace it. 314-641-1010. 314-641-1010. You've heard me talk about Kevin Lloyd for a while now. Are you retired? Or are you thinking about retirement? Here's what you do. Call Kevin, sit down, see what all the fuss is about, and then you'll understand why so many people gravitate towards Kevin Lloyd and his advisors. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
All July long, we're making room for new inventory with special blowout pricing on select new 2026 RVs. Don't miss this once-in-a-decade opportunity to save on travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. We may never see pricing this low again. Shop our huge selection, and remember, at Byerly RV, the price you see is the price you pay with no additional dealer fees. Don't miss the 2026 model year blowout going on all month long at Byerly RV in Eureka.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$7:37. Jeffrey Epstein is still torturing us even from the grave. Now they've got a story that somebody who helped him recruit these women has found dead. Brad Garrett, ABC News, Crime and Terrorism Menace. Brad, what's going on here?
So this guy, mid-60s, I think he's defined as what we call a model recruiter, model being young females into the modeling business. I don't know how legitimate that is, but the connection without a lot of context, because all I have, there's bits and bytes out of the files that were released on Epstein. But this guy's name is mentioned 2,000 times in those files, that he would send profiles of females to Epstein with photographs to see if Epstein was interested in them, which would fit with other stories we've talked about in reference to his relationship with females. So there's that aspect. But the French prosecutor and French law enforcement in Paris are really looking hard at him for human trafficking, this French model developer. And I assume, looking at his connections to Epstein and maybe connections to other people, he dies like in the middle of that investigation. Now, who knows? I mean, he could have had a heart attack. He already could have been sick. I have no idea. But it's kind of interesting that all of a sudden he dies as the pressure apparently is building, potentially, I guess, on maybe charging him down the road.
Yeah, everything affiliated with the Jeffrey Epstein case gets a second look and gets run through the grist mill when it comes to conspiracy theories, and what's fact and what's fiction is sort of hard to sort of determine. What's the story about the current threat assessment?
So the Secret Service director mentioned this recently publicly, and he's talking about 10,000 cases involving threats to government officials and other folks that carry a high profile that could be potentially threatened. Now, what does that translate into? I think McGraw's the following. I mean, you and I have talked about over the years how the country is more divisive. We now have this war in Iran that seems to be going even further south, if that's possible. And the ability to manipulate people online, to radicalize them, all this plays into the short answer of creating a pool of angry people, of which want to act out, whether it's toward the president, toward cabinet members, toward government officials, toward CEOs, you name it. And there's a lot of potential of wanting to maybe harm people. And so those numbers have gotten quite high. Now, granted, a large chunk of that number is going to be people just saying inappropriate things, but really don't have any desire to carry them out. But be that what it may, you've got to run down all these leads. It's really a time-consuming thing to do. And I think they feel overwhelmed at some point with the numbers, and rightly so.
Yeah, very sad story. Hey, Brad Garrett, if you have another minute, our co-host, Rose Dalton here, is a Brad Garrett super fan. She has a question for you.
So,
hey, Rose.
Hi, Brad. I just finished watching Billionaire Murders. And I was wondering if I could just ask, like, is this case, it's the murder of Barry and Honey Sherman from Toronto,
right?
Philanthropist. Anyway, I feel it's still unsolved. Is that correct? They haven't charged anyone?
Well, the answer is they haven't charged anyone. Do they believe they know who did it? I'm going to guess yes. And you and I could, talk later about my thoughts on that. But it's an interesting story and an interesting family dynamics, I guess.
Yeah, I would
love. You want to call it that?
Yeah, I love that, and you were great at it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get your pick your brain on what you thought. Maybe we can do that some other time. But yeah, Billionaire Murders, excellent. It was an excellent documentary.
Brad Garrett, just know you have one super fan here in St. Louis. Make sure when you meet with Rose, you've got some type of security with you, because
there is no doubt. Thank you.
Brad,
thank you.
All right, thanks, Brad. Thanks for checking in. 742 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
It's lurking in your basement, over there in the corner. Or it could be mold and mildew, or even that musty smell. All signs of water entering your basement and causing damage to your most expensive investment, your home. When you suspect water damage, use the hometown waterproofing experts at Permajack of St. Louis. Permajack provides permanent solutions to all your nagging water problems. Whether it's a simple crack repair, perimeter drainage system, waterproof wall panels, exterior waterproofing, or even installing a sump pump, Permajack of St. Louis does it, and they do it right. After all, Permajack is the company St. Louis has trusted for almost 50 years. If you've noticed water in your basement, contact us for a free inspection, system design, and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, foundation repair and waterproofing. Done right.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Zippers Up. I'm getting ready to MC the Mater Media Speaker Series. Woo, we're bringing in some big names: Bill O'Reilly, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, John O'Leary, other national personalities. We're going to be at the J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts, Lindenwood University, beginning in September. Go to matermedia.org. That's MATERMEDIA.org. Early bird pricing going on now. Don't wait. Tickets are going fast.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. we're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the Talk of St. Louis.
Meep, meep.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is, once again, Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, no accidents, but 5570 East is congested between Illinois 203 and 111. In East St. Louis, 64 West is slow between 25th Street and 5564 West. 6455 West is running slow between Tudor and the Poplar Street Bridge. 270 North is crowded around 44, and 30 East is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking highs back towards the lower 80s. Partly sunny skies with low relative humidity this afternoon. Get outdoors because into Friday, we're going to be tracking chances of scattered showers and storms throughout the day, lasting towards Saturday. Throughout the second half of the morning, though, eventually it looks to push back out. Temperatures start to rise, winds back out of the southwest. That means highs towards the upper 80s by the afternoon hours before dangerous heat looks to return into Sunday and early portions of next week. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
For the Country Club Car Wash text line, why do a story of an Epstein accomplice who dies and not disclose how he died? Brad Garrett, stellar reporting as usual. Well, the reason why he didn't report on how the man died is authorities are still assessing how the man died. He was found dead in his apartment. Nobody knows how, who, what, when, where, why. So the story was that a Jeffrey Epstein associate who was charged or thought to be a bird dog scout for Jeffrey Epstein shows up dead in his apartment. Nobody knows how. That's the actual story. So there. Stock Appliance Discounters. 6 area locations. Appliance Discounters, the largest family retailer of appliances in the region. The largest, the family, the largest retailer, local family, is run by appliance discounters. Did I say that inartfully? The largest family run, there we go, largest family run appliance retailer in town is Appliance Discounters. They got roots that go all the way back to law enforcement, great family. And all you need to know is that if you need an appliance, they've got them. They got name brands. They got a high-end luxury. They got stuff to put the deer meat after deer season in the garage and everything in between. And they got a 50,000 square foot warehouse filled with name brand appliances with factory warranties and rebates and everything else. They'll deliver in a moment. They'll pick up the old one, hook up the new one. They've got great savings, sometimes up to 60% on select models. Same as cash financing, 6 area stores. You want to save yourself some money on a great name brand appliance? Drive right by the big box stores and go to Appliance Discounters. 6 area locations to find the one nearest you. TheApplianceDiscounters.com.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call, call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-472-6600 479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$7:52 here, Big 550. Jim Ryan joins us. Jim, AI has crossed some type of Rubicon thanks to St. Louis's own Sam Altman and OpenAI. What's going on here?
Forgot he was from St. Louis. That's right. Bright guy, I guess. And yeah, he's fessed it up. And he says, yeah, a couple of our AI agents, well, they sneaked out. One is called GPT 5.6 Sol, S-O-L. The other one is so advanced, it doesn't even have a name yet. But they were testing out the cybersecurity capabilities of these things, testing to see how secure they were, but also touching the edge and saying, hey, can you think you guys could break into another one? The best analogy I've seen in this whole thing, McGraw, came from a guy at Georgetown University. He says, this is essentially like having two kids. Right? These two agents are like two kids, and you're teaching them and you're testing them, and you put them in a classroom and you say, okay, you two, be as naughty as you want. Do all sorts of mayhem, whatever you can. And then you lock the door of the classroom, go away, come back Monday morning, and the kids are gone. And they are out sneaking around, and they broke into a teacher's house and they stole the key to the test. And that's sort of what happened here. That comes from a guy at Georgetown who kind of sums it up pretty succinctly, McGraw.
So what this AI bot broke in and stole the login credentials of a startup tech firm?
It did, yes. It had login credentials that it stole to get into this company called Hugging Face, which is another AI-related company. And so it stole credentials. It broke into Hugging Face. And that essentially gave them access to the company and its own cybersecurity techniques and capabilities. So that's what it was looking for. When it broke into the teacher's house looking for the key to the test, it was looking for the capabilities within Hugging Face, its own cybersecurity.
I call me skeptical, but with all the issues going on with artificial intelligence and OpenAI and the battles going on with all these tech giants, dare this may be a PR ploy to show how powerful OpenAI is?
Maybe, because Sam Altman, your guy, was very upfront. He came through on Monday morning and said, yeah, we had this breach on Friday. It attacked a company called Hugging Face. I'm not sure Hugging Face even realized who was responsible yet at that point. But is it? And by the way, he says, McGraw, Altman says that this kind of thing is going to happen more often in the future. That's just the way it is because this technology has gotten so, quote, smart.
Yeah.
Maybe sneaky.
Well, it's one thing to sort of figure out the login credentials. Apparently, this robot gained internet access, right? It didn't have internet access. It figured out how to get on the internet on its own.
Well, yes, that's what OpenAI is saying. We didn't do this. We didn't do it on purpose. But at the same time, they had lowered the fences, essentially the security fences that were intended to keep these bots contained in the testing element, in the sandbox, as it's known. So lowering those defenses just a bit apparently allowed these two AI agents to get out and out onto the internet. So yeah, so who's to blame? Hugging Face says, hey, we don't blame you, OpenAI. We blame these two agents that you created.
So they're not blaming humans, they're blaming robots.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not blaming the doctor who invented Frankenstein, they're blaming Frankenstein.
That's right.
Okay.
For breaking the chains and wandering out, throwing a little girl in a well. Come on.
We've crossed some type of Rubicon, Jim Ryan. I don't think there's any going back. Jim Ryan, ABC News, good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
All right.
You got it. Yeah. This is still a PR stunt. Sorry. Still a PR stunt.
You're skeptical.
What was the story a couple of years ago during the Obama administration where the United States launched a cyber attack on the Iranian nuclear facilities, and it was successful? It was a cyber attack, and it was successful. And it was so successful and so diabolical that Iran was so careful to make sure the United States could not hack into their computers. They were not online. And yet the United States was able to attack these computers and destroy their nuclear capabilities through this online cyber attack on their infrastructure and on their computers that weren't even online. It was a very high-tech, highly secretive sort of program in which during the Obama administration they were able to sort of take down or at least gum up the works of the Iranian nuclear program with just hacking into a system that wasn't even online. Think about that for a second, right? That's some pretty smart people. They were able to get something on a hard drive or a zip drive or a thumb drive or a USB. What do they call those USB little clips or something? The thumb drive, yeah. And they were able to bypass all of this security and take down the nuclear sites with a computer hack, which was pretty amazing. All right. 7:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. A relatively smooth morning. Captain Paul in the St. Louis Clouds Company Traffic Center.
That's for sure, McGraw. No accidents right now. 64 west is heavy from Hampton to Big Bend. 270 north heavy in spots, but on the move from South County into Town and Country. 30 east is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. 5570 east is congested between Illinois 203 and 111. In East St. Louis, 64 west is jammed between 25th Street and 5564 west. And 6455 west is running slow between Barack Obama Boulevard and the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, weather here for the next couple of days. We've got temperatures in the 60s right now, 66, 67 degrees out at Lambert. We're going to go all the way up to the high of 81, maybe some plenty of clouds in the forecast, couple of rays of sun coming through. Tonight, overnight, occasional shower might pop up overnight, low of 67. Tomorrow, high of just 72. With some rain showers later in the day and then into the night going into Saturday morning, and then more rain on Saturday morning. Mixture of sun and clouds in the afternoon with rain early. High on Saturday of 88. And then we're back to the heat and the humidity starting on Sunday. Right now it is 66 degrees, the Big 550 KTRS. Next hour, we got a busy hour. We're going to check in with Antonio French from the Post-Dispatch, the latest news, local news from him. And then Frank Cusimano is going to talk a little sports. And then in 1 hour, we're going to check in with the St. Louis prosecuting attorney who was appointed by this Governor Keogh, and now she wants to run for a full term on her own. And the voters are going to make that decision. Melissa Price Smith is going to be our guest in the 9 o'clock hour. It is right now, 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
Every punt, every sack, every touchdown. Touchdown, Mizzou. Find all of Mizzou Tigers football action right here on the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Another night of U.S. attacks on Iran, the 12th straight. This after the president threatened to strike an Iranian bridge or power plant for every ship targeted by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Karen Waugh.
Experts say deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure is a potential war crime under international law. And a second vital trade route disrupted. Iran-backed Houthis claiming strikes on 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea. Crude oil peaking at more than $95 a barrel Wednesday, up almost 5% from the day before. Regular gas is now averaging $4.06 a gallon.
Now, the president threatening, quote, major military punishment if the Iran-backed Houthi rebels attack any more ships. They say they fired on 2 Saudi oil tankers. First-time applications for unemployment help falling to their lowest level in decades. 187,000 people applying last week. The European Union hitting Google with $1 billion fine after it said the tech giant broke digital antitrust regulations in how it set up the Google Play Store and Google Search. Protests erupting in Madison, Wisconsin after a deadly encounter between police and a black man who was spotted trying to open car doors carrying a knife and then ran away.
Video circulating online, officers appear to be wrestling with the man on the ground before 3 shots are fired. The man, who has not yet been identified, later died at the hospital.
ABC Chief Law and Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. Tropical storm Bertha making landfall along the Gulf Coast. Strong winds and flooding, but it could have been worse, says ABC's Victor Oquendo in New Orleans.
The entire Gulf Coast saw some impacts, that coastal flooding in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. Louisiana's governor calling it a best-case scenario for the state, but still urging residents to stay prepared as we have a long hurricane season ahead.
There was a 5.0 earthquake in the Texas Panhandle today. A little damage, no reports of injury. You're listening to ABC News.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Our reputation as experts in classic car restoration has attracted car collectors from around the country. We work on full and partial restorations within your budget for any project, no matter how big or small. Restoration, collision care, and 50s Flair. Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill. Online at autoartstl.com.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio. Discover the hidden speakeasy and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
67 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. An East Alton man accused of making threats against the Bethalto School District and police is now facing charges. 35-year-old Mark Schrader is charged with 3 counts of making a terrorist threat and 2 counts of threatening a public official. According to prosecutors, Schrader first made threats against the school district and police department on July 10th. 3 men from Texas have been sentenced for stealing tens of thousands of pain pills and other controlled substances from 3 pharmacies in Missouri and Kansas last year. Yesterday, 33-year-old Anthony Ray Venwright was sentenced to 120 months in prison, and 30-year-old Jonathan Four was sentenced to 87 months in prison. A third defendant, 21-year-old Eric Dwayne Lyons, was sentenced last week to 46 months in prison. All 3 were ordered to pay restitution of nearly $63,000. A controversial proposed asphalt plant will be the focus of tonight's Wright City Board of Aldermen meeting. Several residents have voiced opposition to the plan, citing concerns of noise, odors, and the impact on area roads and a nearby creek. Residents also claim city leaders did not do enough to notify them about public hearings before approving the project. Governor J.B. Pritzker is scheduled to sign a law to designate Emmett Till Day in Illinois. The signing will take place today at Roberts Temple Church of God in Christ in Chicago. Emmett Till was a 14-year-old black child from Chicago who was kidnapped, beaten, and brutally murdered in Mississippi by white supremacists in 1955. Roberts Temple was the site where his body was displayed in an open casket for his funeral, which launched the modern civil rights movement. The church is recognized as a national monument. Illinois continues to encourage residents to get an electric vehicle. The Illinois EPA will reopen its EV rebate program. It offers up to a $4,000 rebate off the price of eligible vehicles. The application cycle runs August 1st through December 31st. And tennis great Billie Jean King is the latest to be recognized by the Musial Awards. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has the details.
King will receive the 2026 Stan Musial Lifetime Achievement Award for Sportsmanship November 21st at the Stiefel Theater. Along with their 39 Grand Slam tennis titles, Billie Jean King fought for equality and opportunity for women in sports and in life. She joins previous winners that include Albert Pujols, Bob Costas, and Arnold Palmer. The Musial Awards will then air nationally on CBS for an 8th straight year in December. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
The U.S. Department of Labor is providing a $1.3 million grant to support youth career opportunities in St. Louis. The funding, through a program called Youth Build, provides a pathway to education, career training, and long-term employment for 60 city youth. Mayor Kara Spencer is expected to release more details during a noon news conference. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 67 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, Rose Dalton. We're going to check in with Antonio French, St. Louis Post columnist. Antonio French is going to join us in 13 minutes. Frank Cusimano is going to talk a little sports. How about our St. Louis City? If I'm not mistaken, St. Louis City, if the season were to end today, would they be in the playoffs? Don't the top 8 teams make the playoffs? Playoffs? What are you talking about playoffs for?
They've not lost 6 in a row.
They have not lost 6 in a row?
Yeah, I think one of them might have been a draw.
Oh, well, they're apparently, I was looking at the standings this morning. They're 8th. So they're in, baby.
Look at that.
Cardinals win 1-0.
Woo.
Lots to talk to with Frank Cusimano. Did you hear the other day they had Andy Bennis' son on, Shane Bennis? Did you hear that interview they had? Shane Bennis, I guess, played minor league baseball with the Cardinals, but his career didn't take the same path that his father and his uncle did. So he became a woodworker.
Aw.
And so he was in the studio talking about his woodworking, Andy Bennis' son. And segment ended, and I came bursting into the studio. I was like, let's talk. We got to talk wood.
This guy Millhaven.
I was really kind of I didn't do Ed Burns on him, but I was like, hey, I'd much rather talk to you than your dad. I'd like to talk to you about wood. So we had a nice little conversation about wood and what he's doing, and it was really very nice.
Very good.
Us woodworkers have to stick together. 8:08 here, Big 550 KTRS. Okay, so we got all that going on.
When's your woodworker palsy coming back? Boston.
Yeah, you and Trish.
I know.
You and Trish was like, I got to rethink this whole woodworking thing.
I might think about taking up a class or two.
Wait, whoa, McGraw, you didn't tell me that all these woodworkers are good. All I knew is you're nothing. But this guy, your buddy, this guy, Tommy Mack, walked down the hallway and the women just started taking their clothes off. He's like, where's the bathroom? I was like, the bathrooms go all the way down the hall and make a right.
All these camisoles.
And as he's walking down the hallway, you see these clothes just being thrown at him. It's like, what in the world?
True story.
Hey, McGraw, you were right.
Oh,
hey, McGraw.
Man,
hey,
so
McGraw,
great.
where's the bathroom?
It's worse than Mark Wahlberg. It's like it's so thick.
Oh, goodness.
It's so great.
It's
How's your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's bad.
It's so good.
It's so bad. 8:10 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Because you had him on the show once and he called, and that was the best. And Zach and I were like, "Oh, this is so great!" Because it's the thickest
Boston accent
I have ever had the pleasure.
Hey, McGraw's wicked good in the shop. It's wicked good.
Wicked good.
And then, of course, you have the New York accent. Hey, McGraw. Hey, McGraw. Hey, McGraw, what are you doing?
It's great.
Accents are funny.
They're great.
Accents are.
Do you everything? We used to think we don't have accents here in St. Louis. Everybody else does, but we don't. You know what I mean? Just say it. Like you never think your own.
Not an accent. Well, I don't know what do you say? Highway Farty, right? Farty.
I don't know.
Add R's to Warsh.
Washington, Farty, Fire.
I don't.
Highway Farty.
If you go to Chicago, my daughter went to Chicago for school, and they would always say, "Your St. Louis is coming out." It's the vowels. The vowels sound different than the
Chicago has got zero room to talk.
Yeah, right.
But they could tell that.
Yeah.
Normally it's a Midwest flat. But
yeah.
Every once in a while, St. Louis would come out.
Is Police Chief Tracy? Is he from Chicago?
No, he's from New York.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a New Yorker.
Yeah, that's so great.
We got to go and find the perpetrators.
Right, the affairs, the public affairs.
We got to talk to the public affairs because we got to deal with these perpetrators.
Perpetrators. Monsters under my bed.
Yeah.
Monsters.
I interviewed a lifeguard from Rockaway Beach the other day for the nighttime show. We put it in the can, if you will. And she had such a thick New York accent. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh yeah. Oh, Rockaway Beach. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to go save some people today. Yeah, it was just you listen to her and you're like, that is some accent you got, lady.
Delphi? Is that Long Island?
Delphi's Long Island.
Yeah, when I was in college, a recruiter called once. I was like, the accent. I can't
just keep talking.
Delphi.
Yeah.
It was great.
Delphi's, I think it's over there in Garden City, actually. Come to think of it. All right, 811, 812, Big 550, KTRS. Let's talk Pat Leahy and outdoor living. Who was I talking to the other day? Oh, it was one of the advertisers told me that they called Pat Leahy, came out to the house and given him a bid for their new deck. You betcha. Outdoor Living, 314-966-3325 or outdoorlivinginc.com. You want a deck not built of wood. It's fine, but the pressure-treated wood today is just not as good as it used to be in the past. And what's great about Outdoor Living is they don't use wood anymore. They use metal framing, composite decking, metal framing, and this deck, when they build it for you, will come with a 50-year warranty. Think about that for a second. You don't have to worry about staining, painting it. You have to worry about it rotting or bowing. The carpenter ants and the wasps aren't going to nest in this thing because it's made of metal. And it's going to stand the test of time and put a 50-year warranty on it. Outdoor Living knows what they're doing. They'll build it right for you. Home site visit is what you want, but check out the showroom. That's where it all starts. Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325. Outdoor Living or outdoorlivinginc.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We've specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale? especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, MastercarsInc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Amioki Road in Granite City, or visit MastercarsInc.com to get more details. That's MastercarsInc.com.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, we are still accident-free, just some slow traffic out there. 270 north is heavy from Big Bend up to Manchester. 30 east is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. 5570 east slow between Illinois 203 and 111. 5570 west is jammed between 255 and Black Lane. We have some slow traffic in East St. Louis on 64 west between 25th Street and 5564 west. And 6455 west is crowded between Barack Obama Boulevard and the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your tickets now for Stages St. Louis. Take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls, which runs July 24th through August 23rd. Then Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagesstlouis.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking afternoon highs towards the lower 80s today, partly sunny skies, lower humidity. Get outdoors because come Friday, we're going to be tracking some scattered showers and storms lasting throughout the day into the overnight hours before looking to push out into the second half of Saturday morning. Temperatures also look to rise into Saturday afternoon, 88 degrees. By Sunday on, we're looking at the potential to see some dangerous heat looking to return. Feels like temperatures back towards the triple digits. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here! Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Gilmish & Sons have been providing quality cooling services since 19... The preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gilmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Henry here for my friends at Black Box Cooper. Many homeowners live with old, drafty windows for years, thinking they can put it off until later. But once they replace them with new Anderson windows, they can't believe the difference. Their homes are quieter, more comfortable, and more energy efficient, and the curb appeal is dramatically improved. Black Box Cooper helps homeowners understand their options and select the right Anderson windows for their home and budget. Do it today, not tomorrow. Call 314-270-1484. Online at blackboxcooper.com. Black Box Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor.
Unique in Forest Park.
Follow the journey of Motown legends when Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations makes its Muni debut July 27th through August 2nd. Sponsored by Minetta. Your seats are waiting at muni.org.
Tune in Mondays to the Frank and Jill Show for Success St. Louis style as they feature a St. Louis in making a difference in our community. Brought to you by the St. Louis Chess Club.
Building champions in the classroom and the community. Online at stlouischessclub.org. Now back to McGraw.
Presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thursday, we check in with Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist, with us every Tuesday and every Thursday. Antonio, your story in your hometown newspaper, STL today, about police response times. It's a pretty interesting article, much of which doesn't get a lot of attention, but the Post-Dispatch put some resources into this story, and according to some analysis, response times have gotten much worse over the last number of years. Talk about this it's a really interesting story.
Yeah, I mean, it's a common experience. You call 911 in the city, and either, it used to be they would put you on hold, and you're sitting there waiting with your emergency, just waiting for somebody to get back to you. Now, even if you do get someone, a dispatcher, it still may be hours before anybody actually shows up. A lot of people who don't call 911 regularly are people who only call 911 when there is an emergency and when they actually need help. They are very surprised by this experience. They expect you call 911 and immediately somebody's on the way to help. And sadly, that is not the reality in St. Louis City.
Yeah, no. And I anytime you call 911, right, every second is like an hour. So even if they show up in 35 seconds, it feels like 35 minutes. But some response times for 911, could be 40, 50 minutes. There's one story, pick the one story where the woman called at 7 and the cops didn't show up until 11. Police say there's just not enough police officers and there are too many other things they're doing and they have to prioritize. So the police sympathize, but what can the police do other than try and find more police officers?
Well, that is their position. That's what the police department says. We don't really have any other way to know that we kind of take it, take them for their word that they're trying the best they can. They just don't have the resources. But, on the flip side, from the city's perspective, I mean, we pay a lot of money to this department. We put a lot of, it is by far the biggest investment of city taxpayers every year. And what they're getting back for it, it is perfectly all right for the citizens to say that they want better and us to put pressure on the police department to figure out how to provide better service. They are doing a lot with a little, but people still expect the job to be done. And for them, sitting there waiting for a couple of hours and possibly, the worst moments of their life, that leaves a scar. And people, it makes people feel like no one cares. And that's really what we want to change. And so, yeah, we got to keep pressure on the department to do better.
Yeah, it's structural. I mean, that's when you think about it, waiting 40 minutes for a 911 call breaks your heart in some ways. And I don't think there's any easy answer, but something that should be talked about and reported on and sort of at least thought about when you talk about all these municipalities, police departments, the city taking over, the county taking over, the state taking over. There's that poor innocent person who's just trying to get some help and waiting there for somebody to come help them.
And, let me say one more thing, too, that people may not think about this situation, which is that, obviously, St. Louis is a violent town. People, use guns a lot, way too often, and they, basically take the law in their own hands. And so what we really want to be able to do is provide a level of service, of police protection and service where people feel like, okay, you can get justice this way. You can, if something happens, call the police. The police will come. They will handle the situation. You don't have to handle the situation yourself. And sadly, a lot of people have completely given up on 911 or the police as a remedy to their situation, and they handle it themselves. And that's how you get people just shooting each other and handling these what you consider a minor situation that turns and escalates into a violent situation, maybe even eventually murder. A lot of times it's just you have an entire community that has just given up on 911.
Yeah.
That's what we really need to change.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting point. Whether it's true or not, whether it's accurate or not, that's the perception of people in that neighborhood, is that the police aren't coming to save them. And so oftentimes they take the law into their own hands. And so that's where you sort of society breaks down and everything goes haywire. It's a pretty good point. So another story in your hometown newspaper about setting up task forces, Riverview Gardens, Normandy, Jennings, Rittner, Hazelwood, starting to talk about the dreaded consolidation of schools. We just don't have the babies. We just don't have the kids. And consolidating schools, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but really it needs to have a conversation.
Yeah, suburban districts are feeling the heat too. We've read a lot about what's happening in St. Louis School District, where they are looking at closing lots of school buildings, maybe even shrinking over the course of a few years in half. Same thing is happening in the county as well. These districts are, seeing budgets go up, expenses go up, like everything else in life is going up, and they don't have any more revenue coming in. So we either have to cut expenses or figure out how to work together so we can save costs. But yeah, education is going to have to reshape because society is reshaping, and the population is moving around, and people are doing things differently, and they're taking their kids out of public school and going to private school and looking for alternatives. So public school numbers are shrinking throughout the city and the county.
So listen to these numbers in this story at stltoday.com. Public school enrollment in the city and the county has decreased by more than 15,000 students in the last 10 years. And in the last 5 years, the region has lost 34,000 kids under the age of 15. So if that's not a canary in the coal mine story, that the people aren't moving into the neighborhoods, people aren't having babies, immigrants aren't moving in or kicking the immigrants out or whatever you want to look at it, not having 33,000 children under the age of 15 is a pretty scary number.
It is. And, for the school districts, each child, represents, depending on the district, anywhere between $12,000 to $20,000 of revenue. These districts get funded from the state based on the number of students. So you take, $10,000, $12,000 times 30,000, and you see how much less money these districts have to work with over the last few years. And then the big telling thing, though, is that, when young populations are decreasing in those numbers in these different municipalities, that really is a reflection of families leaving. And you got two things going on. One, families moving out and moving, more to the even more extreme suburbs, or you just have not as many kids. People just are not having kids like they used to as well. So yeah, the landscape is shifting, and these districts are trying to keep up. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in a tough financial situation very soon.
Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist, editorial board, and with us every Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks, Antonio. Good stuff as always.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You got 8:30. Frank Cusimano right around the corner. But first, we'll do traffic and weather. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. There's an accident on 64 West at Hanley with traffic slow back to Hampton. Estimated clearance time is 9:15 this morning. 270 North is heavy, but on the move around Doherty Ferry. 5570 East slow between Illinois 203 and 111. 5570 West is jammed between 255 and Black Lane. And in East St. Louis, 64 West is slow between Baugh and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concession, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
57 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. We've got some nice couple of days in store for us. Today, we got a high of 81, mixture of sun and clouds, maybe some rain overnight. Tomorrow, high of just 72. Again, with some rain Friday night into Saturday. Saturday, high of 88 with some morning rain, and then we're back to the heat and the humidity on Sunday with a high of 95. 68 degrees right now at 8:32. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
President Donald Trump says an agreement being reached with Saudi Arabia for a civilian nuclear program requires the kingdom to normalize relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords. The Republican president said on social media the deal does not allow for enrichment of uranium. Non-proliferation experts have raised concerns that the deal fails to include guardrails to prevent enrichment of uranium to weapons-grade levels. The House adopted a Republican-only $95 billion budget proposal, a long-shot effort to fund the Iran war and other White House priorities. Speaker Mike Johnson worked Wednesday to push it over objections from Democrats and some GOP holdouts as a priority before the midterm elections. In local headline, RJ's Law has been signed by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. The measure creates a new Purple Heart alert system to locate missing people with developmental disabilities. The system will be run by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who will issue the alerts. And the St. Charles County Police Department is reporting a 20% increase in scams, many of which are targeting seniors. In response, the department has been holding fraud prevention presentations with neighborhood groups and organizations. 70 degrees. Time now is 8:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, why would anyone live in a city that cannot respond to emergencies? I wouldn't. And many others obviously feel the same way. Fix this or watch the city deteriorate further. They live in the city for all sorts of reasons. That's where they were born. That's where they're raised. That's where their family is. That's what they're used to. Some can't afford to move out. Some choose to live there. But you're right. That's why the city was at one point the fourth largest city in America, and now they're barely scraping 300 if they're lucky. Yeah, that's what the problem is. That's why the city is in dire need, because there are a whole lot of people who don't want to live in that type of situation. Let's do this. Let's talk about the Muni. The Muni at the Muni. Muni.org. Let's talk about tickets, because where are they up to now? They've finished with South Pacific, which got rave reviews.
Newsies is going on now.
Newsies is going on right now. Then it's Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations. Meet Me in St. Louis. My sister's coming up for August, so we got to get tickets for, I know she's been dying to see. We've taken her to the Muni a couple times. She loves it, but she also loves Meet Me in St. Louis. So to have her see Meet Me in St. Louis at the Muni, I know she's going to love it. It's going to be a fun night. We'll get a whole group going and head over to the Muni. That's what's so great about the Muni. Don't worry about the heat and the humidity. It's all part of the fun of the Muni. Once the sun starts to go down, it gets a lot cooler. The fans are great. But it's the Muni. It's summertime. Have a soda and some popcorn and embrace it all. So they've got Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and then Something Rotten, which I haven't seen, but I have downloaded the music. It's a great satirical look at musicals. Pokes fun at musicals. Something Rotten has gotten great reviews. It's a great way to end the season at the Muni. So what are you doing? Let's go to the Muni, metrotix.com or muni.org. The Muni in Forest Park.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I want to remind you to tune in to the Heidi Glaus Show with Bob Ramsey and Josh Gilbert weekdays from 3 to 6. You don't want to miss all the fun. Plus, twice a month, we're joined by Dr. Ravi Johar, the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Dr. Johar, United Healthcare, will keep us informed and educated about everything happening in the healthcare system, plus important facts to keep us healthy. United Healthcare and the Heidi Glaus Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Make the decision this year to upgrade your deck or patio into the special space you've always imagined. Hi, this is Dan Head from Patriot Builds, offering you a free design consultation for a beautiful sunroom, patio cover, power shade, or outdoor kitchen. Now is the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot sunroom. Call today and save 314-822-3232 or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
Don't wait to make the memories that matter most. We only get so much time together. Kids grow up, life gets busy, and before you know it, they're starting adventures of their own. Make the most of today with family camping trips, weekends around the campfire, and memories they'll carry for a lifetime. Right now, you can get a bunkhouse travel trailer for under $275 a month. Don't wait for someday. Start making memories today. Escape in an RV from Byerly RV.
For the rest of your life, Byerly Trailer. Rediscover your family, show them you care for them.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS, powered by Walter Knoll Florist. We know flowers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's a sports guru at Channel 5. Frank Cusimano also holds the perch from 10 to noon here on the Big 550 KTRS. Frank, good morning.
Good to be with you guys. Hope you're doing well.
Are the St. Louis City soccer team, if the season were to end now, are they in playoff?
Yes, they now technically are in 8th place, and 9 make the playoffs.
Okay.
So it's unbelievable, McGraw. They're 5-0-1 in their last 6. It's their longest unbeaten streak in the history of their MLS existence. They've never lost to the Galaxy, and they won again last night.
What happened?
I think a couple things is they've brought in some new players, and they had not meshed early in the season. And so now they're a little more familiar with each other. They have a coach and Coach DeMay, who definitely is a more aggressive, offensive-oriented coach. And then you have Roman Berkey back healthy. You have Edu Leuven, who's their best player, who had to go through that tragic story of losing his wife to cancer. He's now playing full time. So it's a combination of things.
Are the crowds still there? Are the fans still there?
Yes. Yeah. And there'll be a big one Saturday night. I think they have Colorado. And with the way they're playing and now playoff contention, I mean, that's going to be an electric atmosphere. And how about this? Did we ever think we could say, I think City SC is the best of our 3 professional sports teams. and I'll say this is, you know what our goal is now? Is let's be the last wild card for all 3 teams at the exact same time. I mean, we used to think, hey, let's win the World Series. Let's win the Super Bowl. Or let's get the final wild card spot.
Well, to be in it, you have to be in it. So the last wild card spot, championships have been won from that last wild card spot. Cardinals win 1-0. Draft deadlines, or the trade deadlines coming up. What are you thinking?
Trade deadline is August 3rd. By the way, when my wife is having knee surgery, I think somebody else is going to have to nurture her during that first day. But yeah, look, it was a brutal series. The Angels, when they began the series, were the worst team in baseball. You can look it up. And the Cardinals lose a series to them. They're hitting in the last 15 games is last in every offensive category. And yesterday, they only get 3 hits. They win the game because Hunter Dobbins pitches a great game and J.J. Weatherall hits a home run. So here's the positive about the Cardinals. Not one time, McGraw, in this rebuilding season where there was no hope at the beginning of the year, have they ever gone to bed under 500. So that's what we have going for us. And I still think it's a positive year because we've had some questions answered. We have a star in right. We have a star at second base. We have some pluses that we didn't know we had at the beginning of the season.
Who's on the trading block? Are they going to trade Lars Nootbaar?
I think he'll be one of them, and I think Dustin May will be one of them. Jojo Romero, they'd like to move, and maybe Riley O'Brien. The problem is, a few weeks ago, you thought, wow, we got some value here. Dustin May looks like and I don't think you can get much for him right now. His ERA is below average. I don't think you get a ton for Lars Nootbaar. Jojo Romero has an appendicitis and won't pitch for a while. So all of a sudden, these guys that had some trade value a few weeks ago don't have now as much.
I heard you talk at some point on one of your 15 shows you do about the trade deadline, and we didn't get much back from Jack Flaherty. We didn't get much back from some of these. A lot of people think you're automatically going to get something good in these trades, and oftentimes it's the latter, right? Every once in a while, you might get somebody who's decent in one of these mid-season trades.
I think that the average fan, we're going to get a top 10 prospect. No, you're not going to get a top 10 prospect for Dustin May, who gets rocked every other outing. And you won't get one. Maybe Lars Nootbaar. I don't know. Riley O'Brien's really interesting because you can control him next year, and I think you're going to be better. I'd be more inclined to hold on to him unless you got something really sweet in return.
What do you think of John Mozeliak now? The interim GM with the Angels?
Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked if our scouting director, or the guy who handles our draft, is Randy Flores. He's a really smart guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Mozeliak plucks him to be the new GM. Or if I'm John Mozeliak, I think about maybe keeping the job myself. You talk about being busy. We thought he's been busy the last couple of years. The Angels, they have to sell a lot of players, and they have some interesting pieces to move. So I think he's going to be really busy on August 3rd.
I mean, Mike Trout, that poor guy, has been mired in that terrible team his whole career.
Yeah, what the heck is he still doing there?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that guy should be in Philadelphia, in his hometown, trying to win games.
Right. I mean, he's from Philly, and he spent his whole career just being an under 500 team with the with the Angels. Crazy
That
stuff.
is really sad.
All right, Frank Cusimano, what's coming up on the show today?
Well, we're going to have Big Mama's, a barbecue restaurant, which is right across the street from East St. Louis High School. I go there every time I go to East St. Louis. The barbecue is absolutely insane. They got the coleslaw in the pulled pork for the sandwich.
Ooh.
It is so freaking good. And then we're going to have Jeff Drew, the man about town, at 10:30.
All right, so Big Mama's Barbecue here at the Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano, thanks for checking in.
Good to be with you, sir.
All right, 8:45, Captain Paul. He's not getting Big Mamas. You're not getting Big Mamas. You got to come into the station to get Big Mamas.
I'll be there.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, they just cleared an accident on 64 West at Hanley. Elsewhere, 5570 East is slow between Illinois 203 and 111. 5570 West jammed between 255 and Illinois 111. And 64 West is slow between 111 and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking highs back towards the lower 80s. Partly sunny skies with low relative humidity this afternoon. Get outdoors because into Friday, we're going to be tracking chances of scattered showers and storms throughout the day, lasting towards Saturday. Throughout the second half of the morning, though, eventually it looks to push back out. Temperatures start to rise, winds back out of the southwest. That means highs towards the upper 80s by the afternoon hours before dangerous heat looks to return into Sunday and early portions of next week. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Ryan Raphael. He was here yesterday talking about Medicare, and he is well respected and well trusted. Here's the deal. You're approaching 65. You've heard all the information, some of it accurate, some of it not so much. But what's true, what's not true, I can't tell you that. But Ryan Raphael can. You don't want to make a bad decision when it comes to your health insurance. You don't want to switch over to Medicare when you don't have to. And everyone's talking about these fines, and just relax. Take a deep breath. Take one giant step backwards. Hold on. Call Ryan Raphael. Whether you're over 65 and you're on a plan, or you're approaching 65 and you've got to do something, call Ryan Raphael. He'll take about 10, 15, 20 minutes, have a nice chat with you. You have a chance to meet him. You can talk about all sorts of things, nice little small talk, and then you can get down to brass tacks. And he'll be able to tell you exactly what it is and give you the options you want so that you can make an informed decision on your Medicare. That's why he's the man. It's as simple as that. He's been doing this a long time. Open enrollment begins here shortly. Does that matter for you? Does that not matter? Let Ryan Raphael help you out. 314-368-6808 or MedicareManSTL.com.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you, bishopspost.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnard and serving your boating needs for 40 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids. Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
Seeking a lead data analyst for St. Louis, Missouri to collaborate with business and analytics stakeholders to support execution of global commercial strategies. Requires masters in computer science, information systems, data science, or closely related field, and 3 years experience in agricultural and or biotechnology industry. Telecommuting permitted from home office location anywhere in the U.S. Up to 25% U.S. and international travel required. Salary range. Employees can expect to be paid a salary between $147,000 to $170,000. Additional compensation may include a bonus or commission if relevant. Additional benefits include healthcare, vision, dental, retirement, PTO, sick leave, etc. The offered salary may vary within this range based on an applicant's location, market data/ranges, an applicant's skills and prior relevant experience, certain degrees and certifications, and other relevant factors. Mail resume to Jill Martin, Bayer Crop Science LLC, 800 North Lindbergh Boulevard, E2NE, St. Louis, Missouri, 63167, or email resume to careers_us@bayer.com. Reference job code 863495.
If it's time to replace your windows and doors, choose Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis. Pella's trusted local experts work in your area and within your budget, backed by the most preferred window and door brand by homeowners. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA. or visit pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Study of homeowner perceptions of leading national brands. Study commissioned by Pella 2023.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Saw another commercial for Amendment 5. Some guy at the whiteboard. Did you see that commercial?
No. Is there a donkey?
No, I haven't seen the talking donkey commercial. They might have scrapped that one. There's a guy who is on a whiteboard drawing pictures, and it's really, he keeps talking about loopholes. No loopholes. It's again, they must have so much money raised for this Amendment 5, and they're clouding all of these commercials. Make no sense. They're being too smart. They're being too creative. They're being I don't know what they're doing, but there's the commercials are landing with a like a lead balloon. I mean, maybe they're smarter than I am, which is a very real possibility, but I just don't get these commercials they're running. I mean, it's crazy how they're just sort of the one where the guys are kicked out of the living room during the dinner because he's special interest, and then this one where this guys are drawing on this whiteboard, and he keeps talking about loopholes, and then he flips the board. He's like, "No, vote yes on Amendment 5." Oh, it's so confusing.
You think they're intentionally?
No,
confusing or misleading?
No, I actually truly believe that they've raised so much money from the people who want Amendment 5 to pass that they're spending it on some high end PR firms, creative types, and these creative types are trying to be so brilliant in their marketing. And they've created with this, we have creative, and they've poured so much into this creative because they've got focus groups and all this stuff, and they come up with this, whatever it is, instead of having the governor stand in front of his desk and explain to people why this is a good idea. Why get some random actor on a whiteboard? Just get the governor, get well-known people explaining why this is a good idea. It's a terrible campaign. Just a absolute terrible campaign. It's my 2 cents. But everyone's an expert, right? Everyone's an expert. But these out-of-town consultants, these out-of-town media buyers, let me tell you how to run it. They're just being too cute by half. Just get Governor Keogh. He really wants it. He's the best salesman. It's his idea. It's his signature platform. Put him in front of a camera and a microphone and just let him explain it to people. And then people can make an informed decision. But watching all these commercials, it's just, especially in this day and age where you have a nanosecond and a half to sort of capture someone's attention before they fast forward through the commercial.
Right.
I don't know. It's really.
We'll get out there and vote. You can vote now.
You can vote now. Yes. No excuse absentee voting going on right now across the state.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next hour, we're going to check in with Melissa Price Smith. Now that the gambling thing's taken care of, I don't know what to ask her.
She's running for office.
I really zinged her on that gambling stuff. And now I got nothing. I'm a one-trick pony.
Right.
So there you go. All right. 8:57 here, Big 550 KTR. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, take it away.
McGraw 64 East bogs down around 170. We have a stalled vehicle on 270 South past 44 in the right lane. 5570 East is slow between 64 and Illinois 111. 5570 West jammed from 255 to near Illinois 111. And 64 West is slow between 111 and 5564 West. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. Face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS. Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation for foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing. Choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event.
The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, Oval Track, and Gateway Kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to www.raceway.com.
The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
That's www.raceway.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. If you love Mizzou football, you're in the right place. We are the Big 550, your home of the Mizzou Tigers. KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Oil is trading internationally at just below $100 a barrel once again amid continued and new threats from the White House to Iran and its proxies in the Middle East. ABC's Martha Raddatz with more from Amman, Jordan.
Iranian-backed militants in Yemen taking aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block international shipping, choking another key waterway that could have ripple effects for the world economy.
Following the attack on those ships, the president said on social media there will be, quote, major military punishment if the rebels continue their targets. Overnight, U.S. forces hit Iran once again, and Iran firing back at U.S. bases in the region, the 12th straight night of fighting. Republicans in the House getting a budget measure through despite some Republican holdouts, says ABC's Karen Waugh in Washington.
On Capitol Hill, the House narrowly adopted a $95 billion budget blueprint, $73 billion of it for the war. As the Pentagon warns it's running out of money, the measure now heads to the Senate, where a vote could wait till fall.
Also in Washington, ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more on a provision in a separate bill that bans stock trading by members of Congress.
The bill that's passed the House would essentially impose fines payable to the respective House of Congress for members who buy corporate stocks. The bill would cover their spouses and dependent children, too. This is a popular idea in Congress, but only 13 House Democrats voted for the measure because GOP leaders also included voter ID provisions in the bill. It now moves to the Senate, where Democrats could block it unless those voter ID provisions are taken out.
Applications for unemployment benefits tumbled last week to the lowest level in more than 5 decades. As oil prices rise on continued fighting in the Middle East, Wall Street has been sinking. The Dow right now is down over 500 points, and the S&P is down 75. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
70 degrees at 9:03. A man is dead after drowning at the Lake of the Ozarks. The Missouri Highway Patrol reports the 35-year-old Springfield man entered the water from a dock near Ledges Cove early yesterday morning and did not resurface. His body was recovered a couple of hours later, though his name has not been released. The federal government is accusing St. Louis University Medical School of racial discrimination in its application process. The Department of Education says it is launching an investigation into 5 medical universities, including SLU, over allegations they violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. The federal investigation comes after President Trump signed 2 executive orders last year targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and race-based processes in education programs and admissions. The Missouri Association of Realtors is campaigning against Amendment 5. The measure appearing on the August 4th primary ballot aims to gradually phase out the state's individual income tax. A meeting was held yesterday in Jefferson County where members of the Missouri Association of Realtors spoke out against the amendment, say it would raise taxes and make home ownership more difficult to attain. Black bears are returning to the region again. KTRS's Brendan Weesey tells you about an opportunity to discover more about these charismatic creatures.
The Missouri Department of Conservation will be offering a free virtual program Friday, July 31st at 10:30 a.m. on the Missouri black bear. These mammals have become quite prevalent, especially in the southern part of the state, but sightings in St. Louis are becoming a regular occurrence as well. The virtual program will investigate the comeback of the black bear and how to reduce possible conflicts as their population continues to grow. The program is free and open to the public. For more information, go to mdc.mo.gov. I'm Brendan Weesey, KTRS News.
Over 90 workers are getting laid off after the Parkway School District switched to a different food provider. The impacted workers include food service workers and administrators for Chartwells, a division of the British conglomerate Compass Group that specializes in serving schools. The losses came as the school district decided to switch to a different company, Southwest Food Service Excellence. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Noel Florist, a place for all your floral needs. And you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is down 509 points to 51,800. The S&P is down 70 points to 7,500. And the NASDAQ is down 418 points to 25,300. In KTRS Sports, St. Louis City SC ran their unbeaten streak to 6 with a 3-1 victory at the LA Galaxy. Lucas McNaughton, Marcel Hartel, and Simon Becker tallied goals for the visitors. Next up for City, home against Colorado on Saturday night. Cardinals salvage a game in Los Angeles with a 1-0 win over the Angels. Rookie of the Year favorite J.J. Weatherholt accounted for the only run with his 15th homer of the year. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Row 64 bogs down at 170 in both directions. We have a stalled vehicle on 270 south past 44 in the right lane. 5570 east is slow between 64 and Illinois 111. 5570 west jammed from 255 to 111. And 64 west is crowded between 25th Street and 5564 west. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, a mix of sun and clouds today and cooler with a high of 79. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 64. And tomorrow, rain likely in the morning with a high of 74. 70 degrees at 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them, and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Trust your classic car's mechanical work to the experts at Auto Art. We offer a classic car care program that includes a free annual inspection plus exclusive discounts on any recommended services or repairs. All our work is guaranteed. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill. Online at autoartstl.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths.
We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing. We can replace your current tub with a low threshold walk-in shower, add grab bars and seats, and the shower floor is a non-slick surface. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton and Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from our drop-down menu online. Our phone number is 800-222-6676 or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
Ask any designer and they'll tell you lighting is key. It's Heidi, and you can completely transform your home with Nora Lighting, which is available at my go-to store, Metro Lighting. From recessed to under cabinet lighting, Nora helps brighten every corner beautifully. Visit Metro Lighting St. Louis area showrooms to explore all the Nora Lighting solutions, or check them out online at metrolightingcenters.com.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
So you want to be my latex salesman. Ladies and gentlemen, she's back. 18 months ago, she was appointed St. Louis County prosecuting attorney after Wesley Bell left the job to become the congressman for the area. Her name is Melissa Price Smith, and now she's running for a full term. Melissa Price Smith, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you for having me back.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning. It's been an interesting 18 months. It started off with a little controversy. You were minding your own business, and there was a controversy over who had the right to appoint who they wanted to. It went to court. Ultimately, the state had the right, and you were appointed by Governor Keogh. Tell me about the first 18 months, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I was actually appointed by Governor Parson right before Keogh came in. Yeah. Last 18 months have been great and busy, and I am so proud of the work that my office has done the last year. We have made so many great strides and truly have taken our office to the next level. We reinstated a violent crime unit on day one. We created St. Louis County Prosecutors' ever first dedicated homicide unit. We expanded our sexual assault and child abuse team to, it's now called Special Victims Unit, because we now include elder abuse cases. We have created a hospital violence unit. We have expanded our diversion and treatment court. We now have a stronger gun policy. We've increased our community outreach and have a dedicated high school program that I'm so proud of, that we are really, really focused on growing that program to really reach students, young people, to help them avoid ever being in the criminal justice system.
What has been, you were in the office originally, right?
I was in the office before I was appointed to take over for Wesley Bell. I had been in the office 18 years.
Right. Yeah. So you had a sense of how the office was, what was working, what wasn't working. So when you were appointed, you were able to hit the ground running.
I was absolutely able to hit the ground running with colleagues who I had worked with for years, with community partners I had worked with for years, police, victims and their families. And I worked with some really incredible people. So I knew I had close to 50 felony jury trials. I had spent so much time in court during that 19 years. I'd worked in every area of the office, from low-level misdemeanors, gun and drug felonies, robberies, burglaries. About 14 years I spent specializing in sexual assault and child abuse. But I had been in the office so long, I knew what programs worked, what didn't work, what needed to be changed. I knew really the pulse of the office of the other attorneys. I knew what their ideas were, and I was really, really able to hit the ground running. And in fact, our first major step that we took in the office was to reinstate our violent crime unit. And I was sworn in on January 3rd, 2025 at 10 a.m. We made that change that afternoon.
Yeah. I could only imagine how difficult and how impossible it would have been if you didn't have that expertise in the office, right? Coming in cold, you have to meet everybody. You're starting from scratch. There's a learning curve to doing this.
Well, 100%. I mean, somebody who's never been in the office, and I mean, it's understandable. First of all, it's a giant office. There are 75 assistant prosecutors, 10 investigators, 10 victim advocates, and 30 support staff. It is a huge office. It's shaped like a maze. I mean, I always joke, if somebody new comes in who's never worked there, it's going to take them a year to learn where the bathroom is.
Right.
And to learn the personalities, to learn how things work, to learn about the judges, to learn about the community groups. It will take a long time to ever start doing the work if you've never worked in the office,
right,
because you have to learn everything.
Yeah. Did you hire a bunch of attorneys? Did you need to hire a bunch of attorneys?
I am so proud of our recruitment. We recruited 4 people, 4 incredibly talented attorneys from the U.S. Attorney's Office. That was one of the first things we did because we wanted to take our office to the next level. These attorneys that we brought on, we recruited them. They had all worked in our office prior, some 20 plus years ago. And we brought 2 of them on specifically to create and run our homicide unit, try our most serious cases, and train and mentor our younger attorneys. These attorneys who we brought on are truly incredible. And I'll tell you, the 4 people we brought from the U.S. Attorney's Office were all so dedicated to helping our office grow stronger. They all took significant pay cuts to join us. They are so focused on the mission and the dedication to this office.
Yeah. Sort of a calling, right? Being a prosecutor?
100%. And then we've also hired some new younger attorneys, and we've got just some really incredible people. I am so dedicated to this office, but it's not me. It's we. Everybody in the office truly is dedicated now and a part of the mission and focused.
What's been the most frustrating part of the last 18 months?
That I can never make everybody happy. Yeah.
What's been the best part of the last 18 months?
You know, to see our office grow in the way it has, the changes and the growth in the office, I am so, so, so proud of it. And to see our office come together as such a dedicated group, I would say those are 2 of them. The other thing that has affected me so very much, we do so much community outreach. We spend so much time in the community, and we also try to focus on communities who maybe don't trust police or don't trust our office. And when we go to those communities, we talk, we answer questions, but more importantly, we listen. And I have learned so much from the time we spend in the community. And in fact, a lot of the changes and growth in our office is because of the suggestions we get from the community. The other thing that's been just an incredible part of the last 18 months and is going to increase going forward is the high school program that we've created, where we get into high schools and have some real conversations with students about things that 18-year-olds can 18 is an adult in the state of Missouri. So we have some real conversations about cases that young people get involved in either purposefully or even accidentally, whether it's with guns, drugs, non-consensual sex. And the more conversations we have with them, the more real talk they really start talking to us. And if those programs can help one student go right instead of left, it's worth the entire program.
Melissa Price Smith, our guest for a couple more minutes. She's St. Louis County prosecuting attorney. She's up for election. The primary is in less than 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks from this Tuesday?
It's August 4th.
Yeah, August 4th.
Coming up fast.
You are clearly not a politician, and I don't mean that as a negative. It's just you are a prosecuting attorney, and you're not an elected official, but clearly the job's not done. You want a full term. What do you want to do going forward? What do you want this second term to be for you?
Well, like I said, I just listed a lot of the things we've done this past year that I'm so proud of. We've done so much this past year, but I truly feel like we're just getting started. There is so much to do to make St. Louis County even safer, to hold violent offenders accountable, to give victims a voice, to increase the strength of our program while also being a part of the solution and being involved in the community. I am so grateful for this past year and a half, but August 4th, I am asking for people's support because we're doing some great things, but we want to keep doing it. We want to keep growing. We are a part of this community, and I speak for everyone in this office, and we are dedicated to make St. Louis County safer and being a part of the solution. It's a 4-year term, and I can also say confidently, I am the best candidate for this job. I am the most experienced and the most qualified, and I am 100% confident in that.
Catherine Hanaway, the Attorney General, has been on the show a couple of times. She hit the ground running. We've talked both on the air and off the air about the gambling machines. She's dived into that. We've seen to have turned a corner on the gambling machines, right?
Oh, 100%. And we work in partnership with Catherine Hanaway in dealing with the gambling machines. And, I am very proud to say that when Catherine Hanaway and our office worked closely together and sent out notice to a lot of these store owners and let them know that, hey, we are going to move forward and prosecute these machines because they are illegal, most of those store owners are now in compliance. They didn't fight it. They had been sold a bill of goods. Basically, they had been told these machines are legal.
Right.
Once they were notified, the majority of them are in compliance. They didn't want to do something illegal.
Yeah. She's also taken on the Khartoum, this sort of synthetic drug that's out there. What are you doing with that? Are you working in conjunction with them? Tell me about that.
Yeah, we speak with Catherine Hanaway's office quite frequently. We are working in partnership with them. We've been talking lately about what role each of us will take, whether it be our prosecutors sharing the role in their office or even her attorneys coming and having some space in our office to prosecute these cases. But, this is a perfect example of these roles aren't political. This isn't a Republican or Democratic thing. This is about law enforcement and public safety. And that's why I'm so glad that she and I work in partnership together. We also work closely with Gabe Gore in the city because it's a regional thing. It's not as though this happens in one area. The criminals in the city don't stop at the imaginary line.
Right.
So working with Catherine Hanaway, working with Gabe Gore, working with Joe McCullough, Tom Albus, I'm grateful that we all work together with the same goals of keeping St. Louis County safe.
Melissa Price Smith, our guest. One bit of news I want to ask you about, and that is this Elijah Gant trial that's going on. He is the man accused of beating up that police officer up in Florissant a couple years ago. This is now where, and can you say anything about this trial?
It's actually interesting that you asked that. That trial is going on right now as we speak. In the circuit court in St. Louis County, 3 of our top prosecutors are handling that trial, and it is happening this week in St. Louis County.
Yeah, is the jury's out, and you're waiting for the jury to come back?
No. The evidence is still being presented.
Okay.
Today is Thursday, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Evidence is still being presented today. I would anticipate the jury will start deliberating maybe tomorrow. I would think sometime early next week.
Yeah. Talk for a moment about being a jurist and being in the jury pool. There are people who hate doing it. There are people who get the summons and they try and do everything they can to get out of it. I've always wanted to be on a jury. I think that's one of the most fun things I get to do as a citizen is go and try and sit and be on a jury pool. I've never understood why people didn't want to be on a jury pool.
Jury selection, we often talk about this in our office. Jury selection in a case is oftentimes the most important part of a case because, you bring in, as a prosecutor, when I was trying a lot of cases a year, you bring in a group, say, of 60, a panel, and then I, as the prosecutor, get to ask questions. The defense attorney gets to ask questions, and oftentimes the judge will ask questions. And then based on that, it's actually not a selection process. It's more of an exclusionary process because everyone's goal, prosecutor, defense attorney, judge, is to get a fair and impartial jury. You don't want to have somebody who slants one way because then you're not going to have a fair jury. But jury selection usually takes about a day. It is an incredibly interesting part to hear the answers that people ask.
Yeah.
And in jury selection, we ask some very, very detailed questions, including if anyone's ever been a victim of, say, I'm doing a rape trial, if anyone's ever been a victim or close to a victim, if, we often ask questions like, hey, you see the defendant sitting here. Have you already decided he's guilty? Can you listen to the evidence and make a decision? The answers we get are always very, very interesting, what people say. But the goal is to get a fair and impartial jury.
Melissa Price Smith, is it really your goal to get a fair jury, or is it to get a jury most sympathetic to your cause?
You're probably not going to believe this, McGraw. I want a fair jury. If I see somebody on that jury that I know and they don't disclose that they know me, I will disclose it. I believe in the system. I have respect for defense attorneys. I have respect for juries. The only way our system works, if we have a fair and impartial jury, if we have a good defense attorney, if we have a good prosecutor. I don't want somebody who's sitting on my jury who says, yeah, I've been a victim and I can't be fair. Justice system is not going to work that way.
Melissa Price Smith, last comment for you. Your mother, in terms of full disclosure, a big supporter of the Big 550 KTRS, known her for years. And the reason why I like you and the reason why I like your family is if your mother ever did something wrong and had to be arrested in the county, I know you well enough to know you would throw the book at her. There would be no sympathy towards your mother. You would throw the book at her, and she would expect nothing less.
Okay, great. I'm going to use this opportunity to say, I want people out there to know that there is no Republican primary. So if a Republican out there wants to have a say in who the next prosecutor is, they're going to have to pull a Democratic ballot.
Oh.
So I'm asking everybody to do that.
Yeah, good point. There's no Republican opposition. There's nobody running in the Republican Party.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you have to pull a Democratic ballot to vote. Do you like that pivot from prosecuting my own mother?
That was very good. That was very smooth. You would not get rattled in a courtroom. That is exactly right. Melissa Price Smith with us. She is the sitting St. Louis County prosecuting attorney, and she's asking for your vote on August 4th. Good luck down the road.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. America at Night. KTRS, back in a moment. Captain Walkowski, take it away.
McGraw 5570 West is jammed from 255 to Black Lane, where it starts to open up. 5570 East, slow between 64 and Illinois 111. And there's debris on 70 East at Lucas and Hunt in the right lane. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night on Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot, face painting, concessions, stage show, and then the movie. Bring an unwrapped toy for families in need and get a free Disney on Ice ticket. That's the free Family Movie Night at Westport Plaza on July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
In Forest Park. Follow the journey of Motown legends when Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations makes its Muni debut July 27th through August 2nd. Sponsored by Minetta. Your seats are waiting at muni.org.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hardcastle, host of Money Talk. Join me and all of our Money Talkers for our June 2027 French Riviera Money Talk vacation. 9 days, unpack one time, balmy beaches, coastal resorts, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and much more. And if you book early, under $5,000 for brochure and information, call our Delta office, 636-532-0484. The French Riviera, I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Heidi Klaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey. Weekday afternoons at 3 on the Big 550.
Always current and always on.
KTRS. Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550. KTRS.
Smith, that statement about pulling a Democratic ballot to vote for her is important. That is how Bob McCullough lost to Wesley Bell due to the Republicans. I wanted to vote for Bob McCullough, but found out that they pulled a party line ballot and McCullough was not on the ballot at the time. That's why these Democratic Republican partisan elections are ridiculous. And quite frankly, the Republicans aren't putting anybody up. It should be a nonpartisan election, have an open primary so that anybody can, no matter what ballot you pick, anybody can vote for the prosecutor, and you don't have to go and pick a Republican or a Democratic ballot. It's the dumbest thing in the world. You want to talk about fair and open elections and sort of have a free flow of ideas and give everyone a chance to sort of say their piece. No, it's a very silly rule. There's no reason why you should have. You wouldn't believe how many people I've met over the years who, small business people, big business people, raising their family, they don't follow this minutia as much as some of us do. And they purposely went to go vote because they wanted to go vote for candidate X. And they pulled the ballot, and then they realized that they pulled the wrong ballot, or they pulled they're Republicans, but they wanted to vote for a Democrat, or they're a Democrat and wanted to vote for a Republican and pulled the wrong ballot. And they're like, well, great. I didn't want to vote I wanted to vote for this guy, but he wasn't on the ballot. So he lost my vote. That's why these things to be, look, okay, governor, senator, fine. But really, prosecuting attorney, do we really need a Republican and a Democratic prosecuting attorney? Do we need a Republican, Democrat recorder of deeds? Really? Is that right? I mean, have some common sense here, but it's all part of the system to sort of keep the cronies in the system. And I'd love to see some election reform when it's all set, some real election reform, but they don't listen to me. The other thing, too, the Missouri primaries are late. August 4th is a late primary. And I've asked this question a number of times. Why are the primaries so late in the process? And I've been told, believe it or not, I've been told, I don't know if this is true, but I have been told this on numerous occasions, that the reason why the Missouri primaries are later in the process, right? Other primaries are much earlier, early spring, early summer, but August 4th is late. And the reason why is because it's an opportunity for the consultants to make more money.
Very believable.
Right? You have 3 or 4 candidates for a race. They got to go all summer long. You got advertising, you got consulting fees, you got to raise more money. That's 3 or 4 or 5 more consultants that have their face in the trough. And if it were to be in June or, May or April, you wouldn't have as many consultants making as much money. Tell me the system ain't rigged. But no, we'll scream and yell about where somebody can go to the bathroom. We all up in arms over hey, where are you going to the bathroom? Dents Express, DentsExpressSTL.com. Let's talk about Dents Express. They are a family-run business and a great family, 30-plus years. Gray Wilson runs it. When he's not on the golf course, he's running Dents Express. Every time you talk to him, ask him about his golf game. At Dents Express, they've been doing this for 30 years. And what do? They fix cars. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and minor collision. They have 2 convenient locations on Manchester, in Baldwin, on the south side of Manchester, between Mason and Weidman right there. And then the other location is in St. Charles, Highway 94, across the street from Boeing. Dents Express, all they ask is that you make an appointment. They handle everything else. They're a good company because the word I've got back from people who've used them, man, they're fantastic. I had no idea. You said they were good, but I had no idea. That's when there's an advertiser that's doing it right. When the response I get back is, man, you really undersold that. Yeah, you'll get your car back and you won't know where the ding or the dent is or the hail damage was. That minor collision is all gone. That's what Dents Express does. They've been doing this for 30 plus years. So that car, that scratch has been driving you crazy. Dents Express or DentsExpressSTL.com.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Are you carrying a heavy burden or looking for spiritual renewal? For over 82 years, the annual Healing and Hope Novena at the National Shrine of Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville has been a beacon of spiritual inspiration. Join us for 9 consecutive nights of solemn prayer where each evening focuses on a different healing theme. Trials are part of life, but through prayer and the intercession of Our Lady, we seek the answers to overcome them. Every nightly Mass includes special reflections, music, and concludes with a beautiful praying of the Rosary by candlelight. Attend any or all of these 9 evening Masses. Visit snows.org/novena.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londorf Chevrolet, the Londorf Autoplex, and Londorf.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
9:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, let's see here. I saw a campaign sign in Jeffco this week for a county office with the high letters stating pro-labor. Okay. Good morning. Just tuned in. Who is Melissa Price Smith's mother? That's Marjorie Price, who for a very long time was involved with the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. And she was worked with the station very closely, putting that event on each and every year. So we became very familiar with Marjorie, her mother. Let's see here. If someone is living paycheck to paycheck, they can't afford jury duty. Many companies don't pay their employees for jury duty. I don't know if that's true. But no, I guess I get it. Sometimes it's a hardship. Other times, just people don't want to deal with it. Lots of rah-rah. Has the backlog of people waiting in jail been caught up? Sorry, I didn't ask that question. She has hired a lot of people, but what are the results? We talked about that. I think some former radio consultants are running the campaign for Amendment 5. Let's see here. There's another one. Hi, confused on the point on losing due to the wrong ballot. Okay, so next Tuesday, or this week from this Tuesday, you're going to go, or today, now that you can vote, you're going to go in. If you're in the county, you're going to go in, and they're going to ask you, do you want a Republican ballot or do you want a Democratic ballot? You're going to say, for example, a Republican ballot. Okay, fine. You take a Republican ballot. There's nobody running for St. Louis County prosecutor on the Republican ballot. So therefore, you will not have a say in who becomes St. Louis County prosecutor because you took the Republican ballot. Your vote, you're not allowed to vote in the Democratic primary. But if you take a Democratic ballot, then that Melissa Price Smith race will be there, and then you'll be able to vote for her if that is your choice. So when she said, pick, even Republicans, if you are so inclined to have a say in the matter, make sure you pick up the Democratic ballot so that you could vote in the race. That's what I mean by choosing the wrong ballot. Now, when you choose the Democratic ballot, I don't know if there are any Republican races that are all that big of a deal. Maybe you've got a local, primary that you want. But let's say you wanted to vote for who your state representative is going to be in the Republican Party, but you also want to vote for who's going to be the prosecuting attorney. You have to pick your ballots, which is unfair. If there were nonpartisan elections, then this race would go on both ballots, and therefore everybody would have a choice. Does that make any sense? Heard the time change is dead due to the person who was the head of the committee in the Senate that was set to be against it. Has nothing to do with what the people of the U.S. want. This time change thing is so fascinating. And every time somebody says it's not what the people want, well, what do the people want?
Nobody voted on it.
What do I think if you had 6 people here in the studio, they'd give you 17 answers on what the best way to do daylight saving is. So what do the people want when it comes to daylight saving? I think people would argue that some people would want to keep it the way it is. Some people would argue that they only want daylight saving all the time. Other people would argue they want standard saving all the time. So when you say they don't do what the people want, what do the people want? Well, the only way we know that is the people who show up at the election and vote. So I don't know what to tell you. Hey, McGraw, you are the best interviewer. Thank you. I love your questions and the guests you have. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, 314. Can you pull a Republican ballot and write in Melissa Price Smith as a write-in candidate? No, you cannot. Because the Republican ballot is for the Republican Party. So if you wrote in Melissa Price Smith, it would be one vote for her to win the Republican nomination for St. Louis County prosecutor. That does not count in the tally for the Democratic Party, Melissa Price Smith, to become the prosecuting attorney. So in other words, if it was tied, if somehow in some absurd, bizarro world where it ends up tied, where Melissa Price Smith is tied with one of her opponents in the Democratic primary, and one person wrote in Melissa Price Smith in the Republican ballot, that one vote wouldn't count towards the tallies in the Democratic primary. It would only count in the tallies for the Republican primary. So, though, would she win? Would she then...
If there was nobody else running, she would be the one that
she'd
won.
be nominated for, she would win the, that's a good question. Well,
is there a threshold?
There's got to be some.
Because Mickey Mouse could get 20 votes.
Right. Yeah, you wonder if, that's a good question. But that one Melissa Price Smith vote would not go towards the tally in the Democratic primary. Does that make any sense? That's why the argument is it should be nonpartisan, so that everybody gets a chance to vote. Same as the city, right? Same as the city where you have the Register of Deeds, or for that matter, the county prosecutor, Gabe Gore in the city, right? If you're a Republican living in the city and you pull a Republican ballot, you can't vote for who wants to be circuit attorney. So even if you wanted to vote out Kim Gardner or whatever, you couldn't because you're taking the wrong ballot. So that's the issue there. For your information, you have to register as a write-in candidate with the election authority. Oh, all right. Good. So even if you wrote in Mickey Mouse, that wouldn't count. You have to...
Because he didn't register.
Huh. Have we talked lettuce yet? And how outraged are you that Taco Bell was mentioned as the source? We haven't talked about it on the air, but if I'm Taco Bell, I'm pretty upset. Taco Bell, everybody loves to rake poor Taco Bell over the coals, and then they say, oh, the lettuce came from Taco Bell. Oh, wait a minute. No, it didn't. How upset would you be if the health department came out and called out Taco Bell and then said, oh, by the way, maybe it didn't? I mean, how that's, talk about your government doing massive damage to your business.
It was 19% at last count. That's their foot traffic has dropped.
Yeah. All because of a false positive?
Yeah.
All because, I mean, how criminal is that? That's, I say this time, these jobs they're not for the Johnny-come-latelys. These jobs are for experts. You got to know what you're doing. Same as with Melissa Price Smith, right? Imagine coming into the St. Louis County prosecutor. You could be the world's greatest prosecutor. But to come in, you don't know where the bodies are buried. You don't know who's running what. You don't know what the last guy did. You know nothing. You have no institutional knowledge. And so this idea of let's bring in somebody from out of town who knows what they're doing, or somebody new, or these career politicians. Well, there's a reason why they're career politicians. It's important to have some institutional knowledge of what's going on so that you can actually solve some of the problems. It takes you 2 years to figure out where your desk is. That's not helping anybody. So there. Melissa Price Smith. It's all about name recognition in those secondary, I don't call it a secondary election, but, right, if you don't know the name of Melissa Price Smith, or if you're somewhat familiar with the name Melissa Price Smith, you might then just pull the lever because you've heard the name Melissa Price Smith. So it's, with an elected official, we talked about advertising before, right? It would be better if you just had a commercial that said Melissa Price Smith, county prosecutor, Melissa Price Smith, county prosecutor, than some crazy thing with a talking donkey that they got going on. So if you want to remember the name Melissa Price Smith, you just say it over and over again, Melissa Price Smith for St. Louis County prosecuting attorney. Then that way, name recognition, when you get into the ballot box, and you pull the ballot and it says St. Louis County prosecuting attorney, you've already heard Melissa Price Smith so many times that sort of registers in your mind, and you pull the lever for Melissa Price Smith. That's why the name recognition, Melissa Price Smith, is so important. 948 here, Big 550, KTRS. Lordo's Diamonds, same thing in advertising, right? Repetition. Lordo's Diamonds, family jeweler of choice. That's what you need to know. 314-432-8008, lordosdiamonds.com. In the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road, one-of-a-kind engagement rings, custom work, grandma's brooch. You got grandma's brooch. You've been entrusted with grandma's brooch. You bring it into Lordo's, and right? It's like the Hope Diamond. You bring it in, and can you help me? Yes, they can help you. They can take care of it for you. You're there for more than 5 minutes. Chances are someone's going to walk into the store right behind you, and they know you or related to you in some way, shape, or form. It's happened to me numerous times over there at Lordo's Diamonds. You're there for 10 minutes, and somebody, hey, there's Joey D. Joey D, what are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. For all of your jewelry needs, Lordo's or lordosdiamonds.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We've specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvette. I'm an immediate buyer for a very clean, low-mile example. Hop on our site, mastercarsinc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
Henry here for my friends at Black Fox Cooper. Many homeowners live with old, drafty windows for years, thinking they can put it off until later. But once they replace them with new Anderson windows, they can't believe the difference. Their homes are quieter, more comfortable, and more energy efficient, and the curb appeal is dramatically improved. Black Fox Cooper helps homeowners understand their options and select the right Anderson windows for their home and budget. Do it today, not tomorrow. Call 314-270-1484, online at blackfoxcooper.com. Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor.
The cost of living is going up. Social Security is going down. And who knows where the stock market is going? There are a lot of things you can't control about retirement. But there's one thing you can. You can call the team at Ricken Financial. Their focus has always been preserve what you have and build a paycheck that comes in every month. Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation meeting. 314-207-6211 or at rickenfinancial.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's see here. Thank you, Trump and Musk, Doge, for taking the axe to the experts who research pandemics, parasites, medical stuff. We are so messed up. How about the cheap gas, oil, and the felon in the White House promise? Is it still Obama and Biden's fault? Somebody is very angry. When did Joey D get out of prison? I hadn't heard. For your information, I am registered Mickey Mouse. Okay. 4-year term for congressman and 3-year term for senator is long enough. No, I disagree. I don't believe in term. When you have term limits, and we see this down in Jefferson City, the only thing who's the most powerful people in the world of term limits? Lobbyists and special interests. Because the politicians come and go. The lobbyists stay the same. So you got a lobbyist who's been there for 20 years. The lobbyists know how the game works. So the big special interest hires the lobbyist to then curry favor with the brand new greenhorn who is newly minted as the state senator or the state Congress, state legislator. And so they don't know what they're doing, and they're getting bamboozled by the old wily lobbyist, because the lobbyist knows the way the game's played. If you had an elected official who was there for 10, 15, 20 years, all of a sudden that lobbyist doesn't really have as much power, because it's hard to pull the wool over the eyes of somebody who's been there for 15, 20 years and knows the game as well as the lobbyist. Right? And I don't know where else somebody's been running a company successfully for 10 years, and they're forced to resign after 8 years, 10 years, because they've been in the job too long. Let that up to the voters. If the voters don't like them, they can vote them out. But just to arbitrarily say that 8 years is enough is really, I think, one of the things you can point to as one of the biggest problems we have over the last 20, 25 years is this sort of embracing of term limits. We've learned that the bench is not deep, and all you've done is turned former elected officials, once they know the way the game's played, you kick them out, they become lobbyists, and they're more powerful than when they left. When the lobbyists, or when the when the Speaker of the House quits in the middle of his term, Speaker of the House probably is 2 or 3 most powerful person in the state. When the Speaker of the House quits to become a lobbyist, because lobbyists have more power, that should have told us something. The guy was Speaker of the House, and he quits to become a lobbyist. What does that tell you about how the game's played? All right. What are we doing here? We done? I got one more. By the way, tomorrow, one of my favorites, Scott Vaughn on the show. In studio.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
From the Sunday morning show.
And Missouri Times.
And the Missouri Times. Also, Rick Klein, Dan Zarlenga, Will Gans, Johnny Londoff, Scott Vaughn, and author Josh Goldberg. What did author Josh Goldberg write?
He wrote a book about perseverance.
All right. He persevered. We like those types of stories. Let's talk Miller Furniture. They've persevered 100 years. Family-run business, family-operated. 4 area locations. It's a furniture store. The minute you walk in, this is a furniture store. Smells like a furniture store. Acts like a furniture store. They've got great floor models, and floor models that you can actually sit on and use. Floor models from some of these other stores. Well, that one's broken. We'll get you a good one. Yeah, no, right? Miller Furniture, it's quality furniture, whether it's a mattress from Stearns and Foster, or Stickley, or Smith Brothers of Bern, or Flex Steel, Amish, beautiful, gorgeous Amish furniture. It's all available at Miller Furniture. Mueller, Miller Furniture. 4 area locations, 100 years of doing business, same as cash financing. Interior designers, not salespeople. Miller, Mueller, millerfurniture.com. We're done. Thanks for putting up with me. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer on the next Frank and Jill Show. Jeff Drew is in for the segment you love, Everything You Need to Know by Jeff. And for the weekly special, Big Mama's Barbecue from the Illinois side. Find out what makes it so great.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon. Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state